Leche. 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 Get 'em, Jimmy, where Loshak at? The bottle's getting empty up the crack and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
Hell yeah. I love that intro, Jimmy the Bag. I love that intro. I just wanted to say that. I've never started the show saying that. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. Like the song says, where Loshak at? Right here. Right here, kid. That's where Loshak at. Today is Tuesday, March 7th. Shout out to the comment section. We do this every Tuesday. It's a whole lot of fun. I love this time of year, Jimmy the Bag. I really kind of do. You know what I mean? I really kind of do. There's some, from a sports betting perspective, there's some times of the year that I don't like so much necessarily, like maybe like January. You feel me, Jim? February, March, though, I love it. I love it. NHL comes into view. The conference tournaments have a lot of unique situations that you can exploit, take advantage of. And I'm looking forward to today's show. Once again, we have a huge card, 10 NHL. Interesting shit on NHL today. The trade deadline has passed. Some teams have made some additions. It'll be interesting to hear what you have to say about it. 8 NBA, NBA crazy as always. Maybe some team totals I'm thinking about. And we got a whole bunch of college basketball. Not an overwhelming slate, but a healthy but not overwhelming slate. We got Pubapalooza 2 coming up. Jimmy the Bag, how's everything going with you?
Everything is pretty good.
All right.
A lot of you guys in the chat know we have a game popping off in 27 minutes with UMass Richmond. We are opening with that game, so don't worry about a thing. We will be hitting that immediately. It was a wild weekend of action for us here at Pub Sports Radio. We had the big UFC fights. We had a full day of horse racing, and it was just a roller coaster, messed up roller coaster ride. I was down $1,000. 10 hours in. I just lost, but I made $900 back in the last hour to save face. Shout out to Kazushi Kimura, my favorite jockey, winning the Frank Kilrow Mile for me. 139-1 exacta that helped very, very much. It's tough. It's tough. The life that we've chose, the roller coaster ride, the highs and the lows, handling them.
Yes.
I don't think I was handling the losses too well, 10 hours in to the show, but I did climb out of the hole. And then the following night, we had our big live, Sunday Night Live, second episode. Cash the Celtics first quarter, get off and rolling. Bet the under at what I thought was the right time. Of course, the game goes into double overtime. I lose the under, and I also lose Celtics minus 2.5. And then Nate McKinnon with the Avs up 2-1 makes a shocking blunder with 2 minutes left in the game, one that aggravated me enormously, and then lose the Avalanche game on Sunday night. So it looked like it was going to be a beautiful night of live betting, and it turned. It's just this is a tough racket that we've chosen.
Yes, it's just like the mafia. People ask mafia guys, like, doesn't all the killing bother you? And they always give the right answer. They say, this is the life we chose, my friend. And Jimmy the Bag, this sports betting life, it's a beautiful thing. There's a lot of beauty, a lot of joy, a lot of laughs, a lot of camaraderie in this life. But there's a lot of stress, a lot of ups and downs. This is the life we've chosen, my friend.
Yes, it is. It is, man. And look, when I'm sitting in San Antonio beside you and with all our friends, it's gonna feel so good. But 2023, as you know, Pete, 2022 is best year I've ever had.
Yeah,
10 straight winning months. I got to turn this around. This year has not started out very well. March has been fine, but the year's not started out really well. So I would like to have a big week here. I'd like to get my bankroll nice and juicy for San Antonio.
Let me ask you this quick question, Jimmy the Bag. You keep good records of what you do. Did you have a profitable year betting in 2022?
A very profitable year, best year of my career. 10 straight winning months. Yeah.
People don't understand how fucking hard that is to do, okay? All right? I'm telling you, right? Listen to me. Loshak is telling you. That's fucking not easy to do. It can be done, but it's not easy. This is for you, Jimmy the Bag. Just a little reality check here. That is very impressive. I personally am very impressed by that. We all love you for it. And acknowledge it, Jim. Acknowledge it. It's not an easy thing to do. And the fact that you did it is extremely impressive and admirable.
Thank you. I believe in us. I believe in what we're doing. And the winning just started, it was very constant, very consistent. And I need to get back there. And I know what it feels like when you're seeing things clearly. And I want to get back there. I really want to get back there before San Antonio so we can be all, making big bets together before our big March Madness contest. We have a big March Madness contest, $50 entry fee. We will be talking about that throughout the week. We'll have a video out for that this week as well. So we have
what's the format for that? Because I'll tell you what, standard bracket formats are just, how sometimes there's a live version of a song, and after you heard that, it's so much better you can't even listen to the recorded studio version. The heritage format for March Madness is, I think I've told you about this, Jimmy the Bag, is so much better than the bracket contest that I can't even enjoy being in a bracket contest anymore. Maybe we could steal that format or something. I mean,
I
told you about that, right, Jim?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we had a long discussion about the format, and the decision was to go right back to the original format.
Yeah, it's as far as I know, only Heritage is the only place in the entire world that has that format. But it's I can't even get any joy. It sucks because I can't even get any joy out of being in a normal bracket contest now anymore. I mean, I'll be in the Pub Sports Radio one, but it's just.
No, I feel you. And you are the winner of our last contest, so we need you in this.
I'll be in it.
And so it's $50 entry. It's the old school format for 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 as the payout, 64 for the winner, the old school point format. But no matter how many people are in, a decision has been made to pay out the winners big. Only first, second, and third get paid, even if we have over 100 people in. That's been the decision. Our leader, Slaughter, wants glory for winners. He doesn't want winners to just win and be, that was okay. He wants glory for winners. So top 3 are getting paid. We got a lot of work to do. We got our first game popping off in 22 minutes. We got a big NHL card. I've already made 6 bets.
All right.
Then we have.
I'm just going to quickly grab my caffeine here, and then we're ready to go. Okay, Jim?
Get it in you. And if I hear a panther, if I hear the sound of a panther, I'll be very concerned. LJ from H-Town, Smashbot Trill OG play today. Mavs first half. He says Mavs 14-7, 17-4 straight up versus West at home in the first half. Jazz 2-10 straight up last 12 first half against the spread. LJ from H-Town, Trill OG play of the day is in. I'm going to copy and paste that right now and have that ready to go for our basketball breakdown. So we get over to the Jazz Mavericks. Thank you, LJ. Trill OG play of the day is in. There's Fat Wally in the house. Had missed on his NASCAR pick last week, but still up 2 units on the year. And we'll post picks for Phoenix on Friday. Thank you, Wally. A little Domo in the house. ATV, JPZ, Nasty Nate, Series Business, Mike M, Ron Lofton, Lucas Ryan, Perma Stunt, Billy Friedrich, Troy Torrance, Saturated, J Dub. What a great group. Billy Friedrich says these afternoon NCAA conference tournament games are going to affect my work performance. So that's what we decided to do. We're hammering all of the games before 5 p.m. All of the games that aren't going to be able to be attacked on our college basketball show, we're going to attack. And then all of the finals. That's our plan here. The Nuke Worker, Dan Kelly, Jessica Easton. Great to see you, Jessica Easton. Rocco Rogers, Leonard Porch Jr., Rem Mose, Dave Redling, The Sweaty Butcher. What a great group. D-Rock, Marvelous, Mike Manbear, Pig, Dan Bonner, Lucky Power, Bo Jackson. What a great group. So let's get to work. AEOD, Manitoba Slim, Kongs, Clips, Link. Thank you guys for joining us. Miles Washington on looking at Richmond Moneyline. Let's get to work. Cashman 19 also hanging with us here. Jonathan Maltese ready to eat. Rem Most. Let's get to work, Pete. We have a game popping off in 20 minutes. A10 championship first round. The UMass Minutemen, 15-15, 6-12 in conference versus the Richmond Spiders, 14-17, 7-11 in conference with the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. We'll start with the line history for this one. A10 first round, UMass or Richmond. Richmond opening up at -1.5 at Pinnacle. It's now -3. Let's go over to Bet Online, see what they did. Bet Online opened this up at -2. It's now -3. Now, it did also move to 1.5 about 5 hours after they opened the line, which is why Pinnacle opened it where they did. Totals wise, it's opened up at 140. It's gone up 1.5 to 141.5. And then cash wise here for this one, we have 46% of the tickets and 24% of the cash on UMass. So it seems like big bets are coming in on the Spiders. From a total perspective, we have 48% of the tickets and 65% of the cash is on the over. And we've seen that go up 1.5. There's Trot Wam in the house. Nutflush Allen, Parle Angel. Pistol Pete, A10, first round morning game, popping off in 18 minutes. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Richmond has been awful ATS. This is a classic early conference tournament game. A lot of these games, Jimmy the Bag, I do like to bet live or at halftime. Sometimes there's great, first half value that I think I'm seeing, or full game value that I think I'm seeing. But there's a lot of watching live and halftime stuff, and this is no exception. I did take a shot with the first half under. If you remember, I think on our shows last week, I had a bunch of first half totals that cashed, and this one, definitely not a lock. And college basketball and conference tournament games in particular can be extremely unpredictable. So this could easily be 43-40 at the half. But I took a shot with the first half under, and we can make that official. 67 minus 115 at Heritage right now. I saw that first half under 67 minus 115. You can make that official. The line, the side I think is very dead on, although there may be betting value at the half. Pre-game, I agree with Richmond being a small favorite, and that's about it. But you can make first half under 67 minus 115 in official play, Jim.
You got it, Pete. First half under 67 minus 115. UMass snapped their 2-game losing streak, closing out the season with a pretty impressive 71-60 victory at home over St. Bonaventure as 2-point favorites on Saturday. Richmond comes in off its third straight loss, 62-60 at home to George Mason as 2.5-point favorites on Saturday. And Richmond lost at UMass, 85-76 back on January 25th as 2.5-point favorites. That was their lone meeting this year. Dan Bonner talking about that spot says Richmond lost in the season at UMass. Says they were up 3 with 3 minutes to go, never scored again. Richmond also only shot 37% first game. I expect them to shoot closer to their true 44% and win this one. Billy Friedrich found that 67 at plus 100. So let's give you that.
That's nice for my pick. Not good for, in a macro sense, it's not good for my pick. That means that money's coming in on the over, but a lot of line movement as well, and you'll see this in the conference tournaments, is often very wrong. A lot of unpredictability in these games. So, but all right, I'll take it. Under 67 plus 100.
I understand why Richmond is the favorite here. If you look at the loss at UMass but I don't. And G. Martinez says coaching advantage for UMass, no Mooney for Richmond. I just don't sit here and expect Richmond to turn it around, flip a switch and turn it around. UMass is playing better ball right now. I don't want UMass here, but I've not seen enough from Richmond over the last couple of weeks to close out the regular season that makes me want to bet them here. I'll be very interested to see what happens early. We've had so far in the games that have gone on, as our show's gone on, spectacular live betting situations where a lot of our cappers in the chat have cashed. G. Martinez says no Fernandez here for UMass. Billy Friedrich looking at UMass first half plus 1.5. I agree with you. I'd prefer to look at this from a live play standpoint. I like your Loshak under 67 at plus 100 for first half, but I don't think I'm going to start my day with this going on. So Dan Kelly says he sees the under 67 at minus 110 at Bookmaker now.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. Let's use that. Thank God. I was like, oh, God, I'm on the wrong side. All right, whatever.
So let's just follow it live. And see if we got action available. Troy Torrance says if Richmond can keep UMass off the offensive boards, they will win. Miles Washington says this is a great live bet game. Troy Torrance talking about the UMass turnovers to be a problem. So we'll keep an eye on it. I'm not going to move pregame on this. I have a problem focusing on the show when I have action going on. Look, if I thought there was an angle that I liked, I would bet it. But I'm pretty comfortable not being on it. Sweaty Butcher says, what's the live angle? Well, first off, Pete, your ability to attack the game at the half is a skill set. Do you want to touch on what you'd be looking for? But I imagine if you like the under and it's a high-scoring first half that you would double dip, and that if either of these teams find themselves down, by 8 or more, that there'd be a live betting possibility on.
Yeah, I mean, it mostly has to do with your motivation of the game and what those stats at the halftime tell you about how the matchups are unfolding. Yeah, I mean, a game like this, if it's at all close, the team that's down is going to be fully motivated to fight back hard. I do a lot of stuff, but hey, it's too hard to get to. I can teach a whole class on this, but yeah, I mean, if either team is down significantly at the half, but not too significantly, I'll probably be looking at betting on that team in the half.
All right, so that's how we're popping off here. We're going to move into NHL, but don't worry. In college basketball with Daby Cab, we have all of the afternoon action, starting with the next A-10 game at Barclays Center, at Loyola, Chicago, St. Joseph's. So we have all of those. So just so you guys know, you can just hit our live description of the video, and you'll see our schedule. So good luck, all of you that are making moves. Yeah, we'll do it live. We'll do it live. All right, let's get to work in NHL, though, Pete. And last year, I did not have a good regular season. It was the worst regular season that I had that I can remember. It was certainly the worst one I've had publicly in the 5 years we worked together. Then I went on a massive tear in the playoffs. It's not enough. I do not want to struggle in the regular season. And I think there's great betting opportunities here on this card, and I've attacked it heavily. Spreadsheet play today from Ron Crawford is Minnesota Wild. We will discuss that. Ron Lofton.
We'll discuss that. I saw that. I caught that. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I love that. I love Ron. Thank you for taking the time. Ron Lofton took UMass first half money line and looking to live bet the total. Let's get to work in NHL. Pete, you set the table for us, my friend. And shout out to our producer, Jose Bouquet, who was off. He is off to Miami for the World Baseball Classic. So we won't have him tomorrow. He flies off tomorrow. So hopefully he can jump on the show and give us some of the Jose Bouquet energy that we love so much. So Jose, pick some spots and join us because we're going to miss you over the next week or so. Take it away, Pete. Let's get to work.
Yeah, this one, I don't know. Both of these teams seem vaguely like play-on teams right now. They both seem to have some life to them, right? Vegas got Jonathan Quick, which is giving them a little bit of life, and the Panthers had those two forwards who are out with injuries, and now they're back, so maybe they have a little bit of life to them. And so neither one of these teams I really want to bet against. I guess I haven't checked the line movement, but at the overnight line. On the overnight line, I guess I see it kind of as a coin flip game. So maybe he's shot with Vegas getting a dog line. Vegas and Florida is trending under right now, but they were very high totals. All the last 4 games were high totals. They were 7s and they all went under. So I'm not sure what to make of the total. I got nothing on this one. If you gave me a free bet right now, I guess I'd throw it on Vegas just because thinking maybe it's coin flippy and Vegas getting a dog line.
I'm all over this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all over this game. I did beat the line move, even though I only betted at 8 this morning. So let's break it down. I'm on both side and total in this game. Golden Knights, Panthers at Florida Live Arena. I'm not sure if it'll be Johnny Quick back in net or if it'll be Aiden Hill. I fear neither of them.
Wow, I just saw a significant line move to Florida. Okay.
There's been a big move to Florida, and it happened just recently here because and I could have got a better line, but it was only available to me. I believe the best I could have got, let me go back, was the -140, which I got. So I got a pretty nice spot here. So I'm on the Florida Panthers -1. I got -140 on the money line, +175 on the puck line. Right now, that money line has moved to -150 at Bet365. Back over at Pinnacle, Back over at, Pinnacle. Let's get back to Pinnacle. Pinnacle has it now at minus 152, open at minus 136. Totals wise, this opened up at 6.5, minus 121 to the over. And it's flirted with 7 a couple times. The over 6.5 has got up to minus 134. It's back to minus 128. I moved on the under in this hockey game. It has not moved at Bet365. It's been sitting there at plus 110, and I moved on that under. Vegas 7-1-2 over their past 5% power play. Look, they're winning hockey games, and their defense is very good. But right now, without William Carrier and, of course, their captain Mark Stone, also Nick Roy's missed 6 straight games, 6'4", 205-pound forward. He's been very good this year, 25 points, plus 9. Vegas comes in off their 3rd straight win, 4-3 at home over the Habs on Sunday. Again, a 5% power play. And for the Florida Panthers, a 6.9% power play. Those are both over the past 10 games. I love betting unders, high unders, plus money spots on 6.5s when teams are struggling on the power play. The Panthers come in off their 2nd win in 3 games, 4-1 at home over the Penguins. Barkov returned, and he played well. 2 assists. He was a +1, 5 shots. The big stat is that he only took 2 faceoffs, and he lost them both. So his hand is bothering him. And it does cause some confusion when your center iceman is lined up on the wing. Now, these guys are pros, but there's going to be a couple spots in the game where there's going to be a little bit of confusion when he's not lined up at center. Sam Bennett also returned for the Panthers. He scored a goal, +2. He got 7 shots on net. This is actually as healthy as they've been all season long. And so Vegas has cost me a lot of money this year. And I still do not believe in this hockey team on the road. They've been very good on the road. 17-6-5. They've won in regulation in 17 of 28 hockey games on the road. But they've played a ton of home games. They're going to be on the road for a whole while now over the next little bit. And I think they're going to have trouble. And I think the fact that they've been winning, and look, with the 4-3 at home over the Habs, that's nothing to write home about. The fact that they've been winning, now look, they beat Carolina 3-2. That was impressive. Eichel played well in that game. I don't trust Eichel either. I do think that if this team played a 7-game series, it would be low-scoring hockey. I feel that way. And I think, and I've been saying this for, 2 or 3 weeks, that the Panthers are now playing low-scoring hockey and that the books haven't caught up to it. Steve G says both teams have huge goalie problems. I mean, I know teams with worse. But I guess you're right. I wouldn't know if I'd go as far as huge. I mean, Bobrovsky's been decent, 906 save percentage. So I've locked 2 spots in. I'm on the Panthers -1 at +115. I'm on the Vegas Florida under 6.5 at +110. Slatsy says can't get that Panthers loss to Nashville out of my head. I get it, and I'm the same way. When I lose a spot where I'm confident in, but they had just played their greatest game of the season in that win over Tampa. Now, we've seen Tampa look atrocious, but even how bad Tampa's playing, Florida outshot Tampa in Tampa, sold out Amalie Arena 17-3 in the first period. They just didn't follow that up against Nashville. So for me, I'm very comfortable and confident in these 2 spots. And I would like to fade Vegas often on this road trip. We'll see how it goes in game 1, but I'd like to fade them often. Pete, that's my looks. Panthers.
All right, Jim. I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna combine your looks. I just bet it. Vegas team total under 3.5 -150. That's the current line at Heritage. Pinnacle has 160. Vegas team total under 3.5 -150. You can make that official.
You are locked in, my friend. Dan Bonner says, I agree. I think this is a 3-1 type game. I also expect Vegas to play differently now that they're on the road than they've been playing at home. And they've been playing defensively at home. So
Cassidy is also a defense-oriented coach anyway, right?
Sorry, say that again, my man?
Cassidy is a defense-focused coach anyway.
Yeah, he is. He is. And I think you need to be. Jeff Shahadi, he is with us on our shows. He comes on and gives him his plays of the day here with us. But we're trying to get his Twitter back. We're working on that right now. So we're hopefully getting back. But we all know a lot of people miss Matty Ice. So taint play today around. Yes, Slatsy. I hope I didn't. This is the beginning of a road trip. I hope I hammered that home. In a road trip that I expect Vegas to fall out of first place in the division. So I have thought about now a hedge with the Kings. The problem is that the Kraken are now involved in that race too. And do I really want to hedge out of the Oilers right now? I'm not sure if I do. Mike M says Vegas unders a 110-1 spot tonight. So there we go. That's game one. Panthers -1 plus 115. Vegas, Florida under 6.5 at plus 110. And Pete's on the Vegas team total under 3.5. Let's move on. Pete, my man.
Okay, next one, Carolina, Montreal. I don't know, Jim. Carolina, obviously legit awesome, right? They got that guy Shane Gottisbehere and added him in the trade deadline, and man, he is just as if the rich get richer, as if they needed more. Carolina, I've seen some advanced stats, been seeing it all year. Best team in the NHL, best odds to win the Stanley Cup. 2 straight 6-goal wins. Now they add Shane Gottisbehere, and they're just awesome in general. They do win once in a while, but mostly they win. Montreal back home after a 4-game trip, lost the last 3 games of the trip. They were all 1-goal losses, and Montreal actually is, 500 at home going back a month or two. So Montreal is a 50-50 team at home. Here they're getting a huge number. I don't know, man. Is Carolina -1 an obvious play, and don't overthink it? I don't know. You probably have better sense of this than I do, Jim.
I just don't think that fading Montreal is a very profitable proposition. It hasn't been for a long time. They've been good all year at home, really. If you bet them on the money line every game at home, you'd be way up, 14, 15-1 on the year. I'm not sure if it's Jake Allen or Sam Montembeault. I have Jake Allen here, 14, 20, and 2, 3.36 goals against average, 897, save percentage, 1 shutout. Freddie Anderson, I'm not sure if it will be him either. Maybe our guy Billy Friedrich can let us know. Billy Friedrich says this is an under spot. That's all I have written is I have some interest in the under. I do. I have some interest in the under. But in some of these Hurricane games, like against Arizona, I was on the under. And Carolina held the Coyotes to 1 goal, and I lost the under 6. Allen is confirmed. Okay, thank you, Chris. And Carolina's power play at 36% right now. They have, Ghost going. They have that's over the past 10 games, of course. They seem to be rolling. Their offense seems to be rolling. I would not bet the over in Hurricanes games ever. And I said earlier about a week and a half ago that we'll start getting 5.5s in Hurricane games. That's not happening yet. So Carolina comes in off their second straight win, 6-0 at home versus the Lightning on Sunday. That's also a spot I don't want to back a team after a dominant performance like that. Over there, they bounced back from their 2-game losing streak, so they've outscored Arizona 6-1 and Tampa 6-0. Jesse Puljujarvi is still dealing with visa issues. He's yet to play for the Canes. It's unclear if when that's going to be fixed. And the Habs are just playing pretty decent hockey. Slatsy's been cashing on these Canes first period -0.5 beautifully. Says Kaniemi props always up for games versus Habs, and he had 5 points last game. And look, Satsy, I get it. I get it. It's been working for you, but I think I'm just going to completely stay off this game, Pete. I think I have no more.
Yeah, me too.
The Habs injury report is just ludicrous. They seem to be handling it so well. Martin St. Louis being spectacular. But Armia, Kirby Doc, Brendan Gallagher, Sean Monahan, Wi-Fi, Paul Byron, Cole Caulfield, Slavkovsky, Jake Evans. I mean, there's 9 forwards that were part of your top 12 group beginning of the year. I mean, that's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. So they keep handling it pretty well. I'm off this spot. Steve G says Montreal's power play is horrible. It's certainly fallen off a bit without Caulfield out there, but I'm off of this spot. This is no move for me. Dan Ponner says this game looks like a prop game looking at Jake Allen saves. And Real DM Prime says Montreal could dog some teams in the NHL, not Carolina. Yeah, look, I feel you guys, but I'm off this spot, Pete.
Okay, let's move on, Jim, huh?
Let's do it. Big game.
Next game, Toronto, New Jersey. I don't know. This one, I'm interested to hear what you had to say here. Obviously, New Jersey is playing well. Toronto coming off of a big loss as a huge fave. New Jersey added Timo Meier. He's playing well. Toronto has a couple guys out. Ryan O'Reilly is out, and John Tavares is out. And when I saw the line, I didn't quite understand why New Jersey was such a small fave. I know they're back home after coming back from the West Coast trip. They won 2 of 3 on that one. But in general, New Jersey looks like a good and mostly winning team. They're scoring. And I was thinking that New Jersey might be the play here. It hasn't moved much since the overnight line, moved a little bit, though, in New Jersey's favor. And I'd be still thinking that New Jersey might be a play here. I was thinking this might be a candidate for, a Ron Crawford or Mike M. Patented play of the day or something like that. Should New Jersey be maybe more closer to 150, Jim? What do you think?
I don't think the market can correct itself fast enough with the Leafs because I don't think they corrected themselves even with the additions that were made. And look at those additions. You have Acciari as a fourth line center who's tough and brings toughness, but it was O'Reilly and Luke Schenn were the biggest pieces. Some will say McCabe is a bigger piece. That's fine. But for me, you need toughness in the playoffs, and O'Reilly and Schenn were the biggest pieces to come in. O'Reilly now with the broken finger out at least till the end of the month. And then Luke Schenn is back in Vancouver for the birth of his child. So I personally, and also I've been saying this for a few weeks, that the New Jersey Devils are going to give us a ton of value at home because they haven't been great at home. I really think that the Devils, even though they're coming off a really impressive, road trip, even though they barely got by Arizona, they're a dangerous, healthy group. So I'm on the Devils -1 at I think I got plus 119, money line minus 135, puck line plus 180. Look, in the NBA, we see time and time again teams step up when they have injury problems. And we see that in the NHL at times, except for these teams that are in huge pressure markets. Mm-hmm. The Leafs are dealing with so much pressure on their shoulders. Dubas and Keefe playing or coaching and managing for their jobs. The Knives are out after that loss against Vancouver. Not only that, but Johnny Tavares is sick and he's not with the team. So we've taken off O'Reilly. We've taken off Luke Schenn. Now we take off Johnny Tavares. And look, the Leafs are actually, statistically doing a lot of good things. 91.7% power play over their past 10 games. But, and this trip has been very difficult. 5-game road trip. They were in Vancouver on Saturday night. So sure, they're given an extra day, but this is game 5 of a road trip that they just want to come home. And Devils coming off their 4th win in 5 games, and it was not good. 5-4 in overtime in Arizona on Sunday. It's too bad. Our Mike M, speaking of Mike M, he live bet Arizona in that game at a ridiculously high number and got burnt in overtime, and I wish he had cashed it. Slatsy says Leafs 5-0 last 5 in Jersey and 9-1 versus Devils last 10. This is a battle that we have, Slatsy, often with the trends and how I see a game banging out. And I think that you've been right more than I have been. I believe my ROI is negative when I go up against your trends. But I'm on the Devils here, -1 at plus 119. I challenge the Leafs to show heart.
Yeah, I'll take this as well. The Pinnacle line is plus 125 right now, so I'll take that one. Devils -1, plus 125, official play.
Devils -1 at plus 125. This will be a fun one to watch tonight. Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm locked in on that game. Mike M saying a draw spot. Rocco Rogers on Devils money line, team total over 2.5. Stimmy OG on the under 6.5 in Toronto, New Jersey. I took a long look at that as well. Let's just go over the line history here. Jersey opens up -122. They're now -131. 9-cent move towards them. And this total at 6.5 was -112 to the over. It's now at -107. I guess I like that look. I guess I do. I guess I like that look. You have to think that the Leafs are going to play some pretty simple hockey right now with these injuries. I like that look. The Devils concern me a little bit. Rocco saying I like the under 2 here. What do you think of that under 6.5, Pete?
That was actually I wrote maybe under with 5 Y's. MAYYYYBE under ? Yeah.
Yeah, I have some interest in it with you guys. I'm going to leave it with asterisks and question marks myself, but I get.
And I was also thinking about Toronto team total under 2.5 at plus 140. Jim, they've scored under 2.5 in 4 of their last 5 games. I mean, is that going to change here?
I looked at the under 3 I typed it in and saw what price I would get and all that. So I went through that as well. Slatsy says I actually lean Devils, but like the under more. So, interesting. Dan Bond says seems like a playoff game to me. If you have two of the best NHL offenses, I think neither team overextends early. He likes no goal first 10. That's an interesting look. It's hard to think of this offense as one of the best, without Tavares and now O'Reilly here. But I have interest in the under 6.5. I have interest in the Leafs team total under. I have interest in all that. I think I would prefer the under 6.5, but you have to bank on Samsonov here on the road. Is he dealing with any kind of, is he looking more lethargic at times? I mean, that'd be something you'd have to say. Steve G says Vanacek will let in some goals tonight. He's not been very good of late. 908 save percentage, 2 shutouts overall. But I like it. Pete and I are both on the Devils -1, and I do have interest on the under 6.5 with you. I'm just going to take a little bit more time. Let's move on to the next spot on the board, Pete. PPG Arena. Pittsburgh.
All right. I don't know, man. Columbus and Pittsburgh, a -300 favorite. Here we go again. Another one of these -300 faves in the NHL. And the Pens lost to Florida last game. They had won 4 in a row before that, but before that, they had not been good for an extended period of time. They're fighting for their playoff lives. Columbus out of the playoff race, but they're playing spoiler. They could definitely get wins here and there. Columbus, yes, they should be a fave every road game that they play, but not as big of a fave. They should be a dog every road game they play, but not as big as they have been. Last 10 games, 4-6. All 4 of those wins as a huge dog, and if you bet them every single game, up 4.5 units over those 10 games, right? That's a lot of units to be up. Why would this be any different? Maybe Columbus team total over, maybe Columbus -1. I don't know. What do you think?
The problem is the loss to Florida. That's the only reason why I haven't bet that already. Kadesh in the house. What up, Kadesh? That's the problem for me. And I've also I would have also been on the Jackets first period. This opened up Pens -293. They're now -303. Totals wise, this opened at 6.5 -12 to the over. It's now -117 to the over. That's the stick in the spokes for me. It's just that, Pittsburgh had the 4-game winning streak snapped. They're as healthy as they've been all year. And also with Sidney Crosby and on a team that's 5-5 over the past 10, also with just a 14.7% power play over the past 10, they just are not going to take Columbus lightly. And so that I need teams that are going to take the opposition lightly. Like I'm on the Ducks first period.
Mm-hmm.
And I even have some interest in the Ducks full game. I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to take that first period bet. I don't feel like risking more on that spot. But
Jim, let me ask a question. And the question I'm going to ask you is for the next few weeks as well, not just for tonight's game. Mm-hmm. Maybe they lost to Florida because they're just not that good.
I have difficult time. I guess we thought their wins over Tampa Bay were a sign that they were really getting right. But maybe Tampa Bay is an absolute mess, which I can't believe I'm saying. So I think Pittsburgh is still a pretty tricky team to really decipher here. And I don't want them. I don't think they're going to succeed in the playoffs. I think they're old and tired, but they are healthier than they've been all year, and they're coming off of a loss. And Sidney Crosby is, one of the greatest leaders in sports. And if they had won 5 straight, Pete, oh God, would I be on Columbus here? But that loss, slap in the face, wake up call, needing wins right now. You have a captain who's a leader who demands accountability and gets it. So I stayed off this spot.
All right, you know what, Jim? This is just I'm just going to take a shot. You can make this official. Columbus -1 plus 517. That's the current line at Pinnacle. Columbus -1 plus 517.
Wow, that's the biggest line of the year so far. Wow. Mike M says tough line. He has Pittsburgh in an 18-0 spot, Columbus in an 0-14 spot. Over might be the best play here. Christopher Comatini says Pens still score goals. Robert Franklin says over 6.5. Rocco Rogers says I believe Columbus will be at least fight back, so he's on the over 6.5 as well. Same with Rocco saying over 6.5. All right, let's keep rolling here. Pete is going for a big score. Clint saying Crosby puts his team on his back tonight. He likes the over. Let's move on to Amalie Arena, House of Lords of late.
Same deal, right? A team that is a -300 favorite that's maybe not that good. I mean, if you had Tampa Bay, head-to-head against Pittsburgh, no question I'd take Pittsburgh. I mean, Tampa Bay, they look friggin' awful, don't they? Like games where they have to bounce back, they lose again. Games where they got to do something offensively, they get shut out. I mean, it's just a bad scene, right? 5 straight losses, 2-8 in their last 10, and now they're a minus 300 favorite. Now, I know that Philly is also that bad, but Philly's a big dog here. Tampa Bay should be desperate, but I don't know. I was thinking maybe they'll clamp for a win, maybe under, but I don't know about this one, Jim. If you gave me a free bet right now, definitely throw it on Philly, and if you gave me a free bet that I had to use on the total, definitely throw it on under. What do you think?
Absolutely, absolutely, I agree with you. The move has gone towards Philly. Tampa opened up minus 293. They're now minus 271. Curious to see what Bet365 has done. Bet365 has not moved it. That's interesting. Bet365 opened at minus 305. Oh, no, minus 300. Moved 5 cents. That's interesting. Let's see the totals wise over at Pinnacle. I think that's a mistake, really, by Bet365. But we'll go more. This total opened up at 6. It did shoot up to 6.5 and then came back to 6. When Amalie Arena, look, the Lightning are 22-5-4 there, so they still have spectacular numbers, long term. Carter Hart, 17-19-10, 2.89 goals against average, 908 save percentage, and a shutout. Vasilevsky, 28-16-3, 2.68 goals against average, 915 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Right when Vasilevsky looked like he was hot and turning it on at the right time, they've fallen off. They're 2-5-3 over their past 10, and that's shocking. Now, Philadelphia is 2-6-2 over their past 10. Also, Philadelphia's penalty killing has completely fallen off, 66.7% over their past 10 games, and the Lightning need a confidence builder. The Flyers still without Konechny. The Flyers snapped their 4-game losing streak with a 3-1 win at home over Detroit on Sunday. Billy Friedrich is the biggest point on the board for me. Victor Hedman suffered an undisclosed injury in the loss to Carolina, so he only played 7 minutes in that game. Also, Eric Cernak is out of the lineup. So, as you guys know, for me, if you're missing 2 of your top 4 defensemen, there's not a chance. I'm only going to fade you. Dan Bonner says this one is a Lightning first period minus a half. Says no goals last game. They're coming out hungry. I love my Flyers, but they're allowing 5.2 goals per game in the last 30. Lightning early. Dav Fence has so many turnovers in the first 5. Says your first half under looking like gold. That's wonderful news.
And anyone who's bet college basketball for more than a few weeks knows that until the buzzer sounds for the last second of the game, nothing is gold. Right?
But I like that. Nice work early at least. And so, with all that being said, I'm just.
But thank you, Dav Fent. Yes, it's looking good as of right now.
The Flyers would be the only look I have. I do think there's value on the Flyers. But I don't know if I'm still sitting. I still have a real problem with the vividness bias about Tampa. There's no chance I'm betting Tampa in any form, but I still have the bias about what I've seen from them over the past few years. I still find it hard to believe what I'm seeing. I also have the Flyers under 73.5 points this year, which I expect to cash. So I in the end, I'm doing nothing. But if I had bankroll to fool with, I guess I would have some interest in the Flyers, I guess. Sammy says maybe trying to catch a falling knife with Tampa. They burned me multiple times in a row, expecting them to bounce back. I may not bet them till round 1. Real Deal Prime says Tampa's also played more games than any other team in the NHL over the last few years. That's true, but it's the thing about their top players, Stamkos, they haven't. Both of their Kucherov and Stamkos have both missed almost entire years over the last few. So North End says, I told you all Tampa has nothing to play for. They're locked in the first round versus the Leafs. And yeah, you said that, and you look like you're very much right. But for me, I did think that home ice advantage was important here. Dan Pawner, no, I know you want to get into that because I'll just get into a angry thing here. Let me just stay not thinking about the Canucks. But I guess I'm off this game, Pete.
Yeah, me too. Although I would love to pull the trigger on, Philly -1. But yeah, I'm going to pass.
Yeah, I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. But I'm on the next game, Pete. So let's roll.
All right. Buffalo Islanders, Buffalo on a back-to-back, right? They lost at home to Edmonton yesterday, but it was a good game. They played with energy. They got a lot of shots on goal, and they just lost. And before that, they lost a few games recently, but before that, they have been winning. And the Islanders, I don't know, man, they look kind of like a 500 team. They can get their wins, but they're going to get their losses going under as well. And, this is a big game for playoff implications. And once again, I'm just thinking this is kind of coin flippy. I'd like to take Buffalo here, getting a big dog line, and especially first period, and maybe lean under as well. Again, big game for playoff implications. Isles playing a very low-scoring game right now, so I lean under and maybe want to take Buffalo either full game or first period.
Yeah, I have moved on the New York Islanders.
Okay. I mean, I know they've been good since getting Horvat, but I don't know. At even money, I take them at minus 160. I don't. Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
Well, I took them on the -1 line, and I took them with confidence here. And this is tricky spot for Buffalo just because there's so much on the line, and I do not trust Luukkonen to deliver. He's been bad of late, and I expect him to be bad again here. Sorokin's been spectacular. I mean, he's been the best player on the Islanders for this run to get them in the playoff spots, and slowly but surely. And now, I unfortunately I panicked at the last minute. I only put a half unit on the Islanders to make the playoffs. I don't know why. I wish I could get that back. It was at plus 210, so I only have $100 on it. So it's just like not much there for me, but. I think that they will make the playoffs. I think Buffalo and Pittsburgh will hold on to those final two spots here. Samuelson is day-to-day with an upper body injury, but I don't think he'll play tonight. He returned to play against the Lightning on Saturday, but he was unable to go last night. So they have Cale Clegg and Jacob Bryson coming in because Riley Stillman's still out with an upper body injury. All of a sudden, you're lacking depth on the Sabres D. They're on the second half of a back-to-back, and they have to travel. Alex Tuck remains out. The Islanders coming off their second win in 3 games, 4-1 at home to the Red Wings on Saturday. And Barzal still out, but it shouldn't be much longer. J.G. Pajot is expected to be back. That will help the penalty kill quite a bit. And it's important to have your penalty kill rolling against the Sabres, who have a 25.9% power play over their past 10 games. The Islanders have an 80% penalty killing. Cal Clutterbuck also out with an upper body injury. I would like to have his toughness in. But, the more I sit with this game, it's just Luukkonen. If I think the Islanders are going to win a hockey game, I already looked at the Sabres team total under, and I didn't end up going there. Real Deal Prime says Luukkonen responds here. And Derek Miller looking at the over in this one. Robert Franklin on the Sabres. Stimmy OG's on the Sabres.
Why do people like the over? I was thinking under.
I still think under. And I guess I've kind of flipped. I just don't see the Islanders capable of scoring a lot of goals. And so I do also think they're going to win the game. I don't know why I haven't already moved on the 6 now. I don't know why I was focusing on the Sabres over, because I could lose the Islanders bet. I'm on -1 at -106. I could lose that bet and still cash the under 6.5 because of the meek offense for the Islanders. By the way, the Islanders have moved to -170, a 13-cent move to them on the money line. And totals-wise, there's been almost no movement on this total. Yeah, Imp looking at the under 6.5. Real Deal Prime says the loss of Tuck is okay. Sabres have many talented forwards. I do not agree with that, Real Deal Prime. Look at some of your talented forwards. Victor Olofsson has no points, and he's a -8 in his last 9 games. I mean, you have forwards who are underachieving right now. Even Tage Thompson has cut down his scoring progress as Skinner has. So I think Tuck is a huge piece to the puzzle and a big loss. So Sabres 1-10 last 11 in New York, but 5-1 in New York, but 5-1 in their last 6. Still 6 games. What? Yeah, that is. Give me that again. Quinman says Sabres can score. Mike M says because it was 7.5 yesterday and went under, so it has to go over tonight. Public can't reset from how the Sabres were playing when they were hot. So look, I'm on the Islanders -1 with confidence. I think that Sorokin stands on his head here. I think that, but I'm also thinking that I must move on the under 6.5. So that's my spot, Pete. What are your thoughts here?
Okay, I don't understand what. Yeah, I'll take under 6.5 as well. Pinnacle is 109, so I will take that one. Buffalo Isles under 6.5 minus 109. A little bit concerned that it's not lower, but other places have lower lines. But I'll take the Pinnacle line under 6.5 minus 109. I'll go on it with you, Jim.
I love it. I love it. As we move into our next game, Pete, Calgary Flames, Minnesota Wild. I know that you will set a table for us, but Ron Crawford has done so as well. Ron Crawford is on the Minnesota Wild here to continue their winning streak. Shout out to Ron Crawford. Minnesota Wild is the spreadsheet play of the day. All right, Pete, take it away, my man.
Okay, hold on one second. It's up here. Hold on a second. Okay, yeah, it's. It's certainly defensible why you would like Minnesota, because they have been absolutely winning. Right? They continue to win close, low-scoring games by 1 goal, 2 goals. So if you bet them every game over their past 10 games, you're way up. If you bet them minus 1.5 over their last 10 games, you're way down. If you bet their unders, 2-16 over under in their last 18.
Unbelievable.
2-16 over under in their last 18. So I'll tell you right now, on the overnight line, total was not that low. I did auto bet under 6.5 at a just a standard size at like minus 118 or something. Calgary, on a back-to-back, they won at Dallas yesterday. They had lost a bunch in a row before that. And I know that Calgary may be a little bit desperate. I know that they lost to Calgary recently, so that there's maybe revenge here for Calgary has Minnesota, because Calgary has revenge because Minnesota beat them recently. So I don't know. I did bet the under on the overnight line. I can see a strong case for each side here, but if Ron Crawford says Minnesota's spreadsheet play of the day, I'm definitely not taking Calgary here. I don't know. I guess the under is like a no-brainer thing to do, right?
I guess I've not moved on it. Certainly, if you're judging what we've been seeing, that's a shocking number. I didn't know it was 16 of 18. I think that some of these teams that have underachieved all year long, and we have vividness biases of them being good. I do not know what Calgary is going to give you down the stretch here, but I expect them to play pretty well. And I expect them to gain momentum from that that win at Dallas last night. There's been a 7-cent move towards the Wild. It's kind of gone back and forth here. Total wise, this opened up at 5.5, plus money to the under at Pinnacle. It didn't open up at Pinnacle till this morning. And now it's juice to the under 5.5. There's Big Show picks in the house. I think that the Flames are going to be ready to go here. And Gustafson's been simply spectacular. 1.99 goals against, averaging now 933 save percentage. He's the reason why they turned it around. It was all the decision about Marc-Andre Fleury was the reason why I thought, they were going to fall out. Jimmy Gomez says Flames number 1 team to fade in my book. They keep getting great numbers. Think they bounce back like Enron. They never bounce back. Calgary special teams are poor. 18.8% power play over the last 10, 70.4% penalty killing. Minnesota had that 100% penalty killing going on. It's now 94.4. Brodin's still out. Leaning to the over 5.5. I'm not going to bet against Minnesota Wild right now, but I'd also have interest in backing the Flames here down the stretch. And I put that together, and it's no move for me.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on this one. I bet the overnight line at 6. It's now actually down, so I guess I'm happy to see that. Not going to make it an official play here. But if you gave me another free play on this one right now, no question, I throw it on Minnesota tailing a spreadsheet play of the day. That's no accident. Ron Crawford may like a side, but if he makes something a spreadsheet play of the day, that means something. So Minnesota's probably the right side. I'm just not going to pull the trigger on it yet.
Yeah, I get it. But I'm very comfortable watching and learning in that one. Let's move on to Mullet Arena.
I don't know. St. Louis, Arizona. I looked at this game. I said, feels like an Arizona spot, right? Both these teams terrible, but Arizona, at least recently, clearly playing with a little bit more life, not tanking. They're going with the youth movement, right? And kind of getting to looking to get wins. And St. Louis is they just look much more lethargic in general right now. Both these teams are losing, but again, Arizona after their recent losses were actually about 50-50. And now they're getting a dog line at home. So I don't understand it. And I haven't bet it yet, but unless I hear anything different or read anything to put me off it in the comments section, probably take a shot with Arizona as a home dog.
Markets moved against me, but I'm on Arizona as a home
Wow,
dog.
look at that. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Markets moved against me 5 cents since I bet it. I got plus 115. It's now plus 120. It was pretty simple for me. I just thought, man, if these guys played with these rosters right now, if they played 100 times with Arizona at home, Vejmelka versus Binnington, well, I think Arizona wins 50 of those games or 49, enough where I think that there's value backing the Yotes here. I think I've got edges. I have legitimate edges. And you guys know that, the only spot where St. Louis has a definitive edge in this game, it's just defense with their defense, with Parayko, with Krug. And that's it. That's it. For me, the Coyotes have a better forward, even, I would say. Now, that's maybe I'm a little much there, but I just don't believe in Kyrou. I do believe in Thomas a little, but I don't believe in building your team around those forwards. I'm shocked that they're doing it. And, St. Louis comes in off its 7th loss in 8 games. So whether they're going to come back here and turn it around. The Coyotes played great against the Devils. And they're at home. And they're playing hard. And they're 14-11-3 at home. I don't think this should be a pick'em. This should be minus 110 on either side.
How is the line moving in that direction then?
I would say that is happening because of a vividness bias, personally. People seeing, any chance to fade the Coyotes. And look, I don't think if you like the Blues right now, I don't think there's anything wrong. Rocco Rogers says, I feel like Blues will smash here. I don't think the Blues smash at all. So where is Arizona vulnerable right now? They're most vulnerable on their penalty kill. It's been terrible, 63.9%. Have you seen the Blues power play of late? It's atrocious. 12% it's hitting at in the last 10 games. I mean, I think the Arizona Coyotes can continue playing good hockey, and I like them at the plus line here. I moved on them at plus 115. I don't care. It's moved against me 5 cents.
Yeah, I mean, you look at they've lost 5 of 6, but each one of those 5 losses was kind of forgivable. A big, getting blown out by Carolina, no shame in that. Nashville's playing great. Calgary should be a good team. Dallas on the road. I mean, there's no bad. And then they had one game against a bad team at home against Chicago as a big favorite, and they blew them out, or they won 4-1.
Yeah, I have no discomfort backing them here, and they're going to be at home here for a while. And if you back them every game at home this year, you'd be up enormous amounts of money. So I'm comfortable here. Clint says the Coyotes are too young and dumb to know when to quit. I love Vejmelka. And I'm very comfortable with this spot. I'm on the Coyotes money line.
Yeah, I'll go for some a bigger score here as well. I'll take Arizona -1 at plus 213. I'll make that an official play as well. Arizona -1 plus 213. Jim,
you got it, Pete. You are locked in. Coyotes -1 at plus 213. All right, 2 games left before we get into NBA with Trot Wam. And then, of course, Daby Cab joining us for college basketball. Rich H looking at Arizona team total over 2.5 -150.
Yeah, why would you not? I was about to ask you that, Jim. Why would you not like that?
Well, I wouldn't take the juice. I would move that to a minus to a over 3. Let me just take a look at what that would be for me. Because I kind of like where you guys are at.
3 is like plus 145 or so.
No, not for me. Not even close. My 3 is still heavily juiced.
No, sorry, 3.5 is plus 145.
Okay, yeah. My strategy here is backing Vejmelka over Binnington, and but I guess you're right. I mean, look, that all correlates. I'm certainly not going to take a 3.5. I can win this game 3-1 and would happy to do it.
Is St. Louis good defensively or something?
Well, they have a strong. I mean, Parayko, he's had a down year, but he'd be on Canada's Olympic team if we put one together. Stimmy OG says, got to get back to work, but the Stimmy play of the day's Lakers money line super big. I'm going to copy and paste that, Stimmy. Thank you.
All right, I won't double up. I'll just take the one play.
Yeah, I get the look, but I'm fine with the amount of money I have invested in this one.
Okay, let's move on, Jim. Ready?
Let's do it.
San Jose, Colorado. Now, this is a spot where if you gave me a free play, another minus 300 NHL fave. In this spot, if you gave me a free play, I'd throw it on Colorado. I don't know if I want to do it, though. I mean, Colorado, 3 straight losses. Before that, they had been on a run of winning. They definitely need a win here. They don't look like Tampa Bay or Pittsburgh to me. They look like they should be able to turn it around, and they certainly have the motivation to do it. And San Jose, back-to-back, beat Winnipeg last night in OT. Before that, though, of course, losing almost every game. So, I took one huge dog. I almost took another huge dog, but didn't. This one I'm leaning to, just taking Colorado -1 at whatever, unless you think that's a sucker play.
I'm still very angry about what McKinnon did there at the end of the game to cost us all money. And I'm still really upset. It's just, you have expectations of your captain to play a certain way. Now, I mean, one mistake. I mean, of course, you're going to have one mistake, once in a while. And Ken Dryden talked about that in the game. And, I haven't read that book in 35 years, but he talked about how, he doesn't mind allowing the knuckler, from the other end of the ring, because he knows he's going to stop the next 100 of them. And one time they go in. It's just part of life, But I'm really angry because it cost me money and it shouldn't have. And it's hard to get over it, the captain making a blunder like that. I can understand Slatsy saying Avs first period minus half plus 110 Sharks on back-to-back and look for McKinnon to atone for the big mistake. I guess that is a really good look. The Avs are just, 3 straight losses. It's just unacceptable. The San Jose on the second half of back-to-back after snapping their 5-game losing streak, 3-2 overtime win at Winnipeg last night. Winnipeg down to Colorado. Georgiev was excellent. I mean, he was left, the second goal and the overtime goal. I mean, Georgiev did everything we asked of him. You know what? I think Slatsy's got a great look here. I think I'm going to tail Slatsy here. I don't like the Avs at this price, but this just simply has to be an angry group that's not going to take the Sharks lightly. I guess I would prefer Slatsy to have the whole 60 minutes just so we can just keep beating them down. But maybe I'm a little late. Maybe there's something. I guess I'm too late, really. I mean, look at this move over at Pinnacle. The Avs have gone from -308 to -347. That's a huge move towards them.
Are the Avs like a bad team or something? Like, what's up? Why did they lose 3 in a row? New Jersey's good on the road against Dallas. Okay. And Seattle is a demon on the road. So, they're a good team, aren't they?
The Avs have played a lot of hockey, and they played all year without their, captain, Landeskog. I know I talk about McKinnon as if he's the captain, but, Landeskog is the captain. He's been out all year and waiting to have him come back. They lose depth pieces, important ones.
But they're healthy now. Are they healthy now or what?
Yeah, they're, healthier than they've been in quite some time. Even the -1.5. I mean, you can't bet that, and I could bet the -2, but I don't want that.
Why can't you bet 1.5?
Because -140 for me. It's just I don't want that. It's just not.
What's wrong with that?
I use that -135 as the line.
Yeah.
And then we're also taking a team on a 3-game losing streak. I guess. Let me just look at this first period once more. If I took them first period -0.5. You get +110. I think I tail Slatsy. I think that's the look there. I like what he's doing here, and I'm going to move on it.
All right. Well, Jim, I think if they win, they roll. I don't usually do it, but I'm going to take the Avs -1.5, -138 current line at Heritage.
Okay, I'm going to get that in here. And Pete has the Avs -1.5,
-138. I mean, you're not going to do it, but you can understand why someone would do it.
Yeah, I do. I do. Definitely do. And I don't like focusing on the first period when you want to battle the Sharks' tired legs in the third period. But I don't want to pay any vig here in this spot, so I'm going to stick with that first period minus a half. Pete's on the Avs minus 1.5 minus 138. Slatsy, let's get this cash, man. Then we move on to the final spot on the board. Pete, Ducks, Kraken.
Anaheim, Seattle. You see this every year in all sports. A team that seems to have a weird inverted home run split. Seattle just coming off of a road trip where they were just killing it. Won all 4 of those games, and then at home they look vulnerable. And Seattle, a dog that actually has been winning. Once again, you have a team that's a huge underdog. Looking at the screen here. But then you look at how they've actually done. They're almost like a 500 team. They've won 4 of 5. 2 is a small fave. 2 is a huge dog. Whatever. Not a team that is just losing game in and game out, as opposed to Philly or San Jose or whatever. So just for those reasons, why would you not pull at least the trigger small on Anaheim one way or another, first period or even full game, or even do something whacked out and take a -1 at a huge score at a huge dog line?
Yeah, I took him first period at plus 175. This is a spot we love attacking with a team sweeping a road trip and coming home, especially a team that's been such a good fade at home, 15-12-3 at Climate Pledge this year. This opened up with Seattle minus 276. They're now minus 292. That's all well and good, but I don't want them at this price. Open up the 6.5 under 6.5 was juiced to minus 116. It's now a 5-cent move to the over. So, that's Lassie. Gibson, there have been some games where he looks really good, and I like seeing it. I hate watching these players fall off when, they really shouldn't. I mean, Gibson's not 35, even though he's been in the NHL for so long. I believe he's 28. Grubauer, I have listed. He's got the opportunity to take over that first string right now with how bad all the goaltenders are playing in Seattle. But and I'm 4-4-2 over the past 10, 17.2% power play, 74.3% penalty killing. Look, their penalty killing is a problem, and Seattle's penalty killing has been spectacular, 95.8%. But the Ducks are playing their best hockey this season. They're coming off their 4th win in 5 games, 3-2 at home over Montreal. Vekanainen and their defenseman's out, and so is Adam Henrique, which hurts. It hurts them because he would have been traded at the deadline, I'm sure. Seattle comes in off its 4th straight win, sweep their 4-game road trip. Burakovsky remains out for the Kraken. I just think there's a lot of opportunity here to get paid on a plus 175 first period spot. So that's why I'm at Pete.
I'll make that an official play as well. At Pinnacle right now, it's plus 191. So Anaheim, first period money line, plus 191.
Oh, that's a nice price. Nice price for you, Pete. Well, that concludes our NHL action. So let's review. First off, because I don't have them on my worksheet here, but I made 6 bets before the show started. Panthers -1 at plus 115. Vegas, Florida under 6.5 at plus 110. Devils -1 at plus 119. Islanders -1 at minus 106. Coyotes money line at plus 115. Ducks first period at plus 175. Pete is on Vegas team total under 3.5 at minus 150. He's on the Devils -1 at plus 125, and I do have interest in the under 6.5 in that game. I think I'll probably leave it just interest, but I do have it. Pete's on the Jackets -1 at plus 517, our biggest line of the season. Flyers, Lightning were off. I'm going to move on the under 6.5 in Buffalo Islanders. You did move on it, Pete. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today is Minnesota Wild. We stayed off that game. Pete's on the Coyotes -1 at plus 213. As I said, I'm on the money line. I'm going to be on the Avs first period -0.5. That will be another addition. Pete's on the Avs -1.5, minus 138. And Ducks for Pete plus first period plus 191. I'm on them first period plus 175.
And you know what, Jim? Let's throw another one. The line is just too huge. At Pinnacle right now, Anaheim -1 plus 505. They could win this game. Anaheim -1 plus 505. You can add that official as well.
Wow, that's exciting. I will be cheering for that as well.
And I'm not going to add it officially, but Anaheim team total over 2.5 at plus money. That seems like an odd line as well, right?
Sorry, I was reading a comment. Say that again.
Anaheim team total over 2.5 at plus money.
Wow. Is that right?
I mean, who is Seattle? I mean, at home, yeah, they gave up 5 to Toronto. That's different. Boston, that's different. And then they held down Detroit and Philly. So maybe they just are. Yeah, I don't know, but it seems like a decent play, right? 2.5 at plus money over.
God, I would prefer the 3 at big plus money.
Yeah.
What is that big plus money? 115 to 130. Let me just. That's a really interesting look. Plus 115.
Yeah, I'm not going to triple up, but I'll just double up. But yeah, it's Seattle's getting a lot of respect here.
Over 3 at plus 214. Wow, I'm very interested in that. Ducks team total over 3. Wow, that's a real exciting look that wasn't on my radar here. I think I may have to add that, man. I don't want to. God, I just. Unfortunately, we talk about how this needs to be fun. Sweating out Ducks, Seattle Kraken while I'm capping tomorrow's cards, not what I'm interested in doing. But
I hear you. But Jim, this is the life that you have chosen, my friend. Yeah. Yes, to sweat out Ducks Kraken on a Tuesday night. Believe it or not, that's the life you chose, Jim.
Yeah. Not when I'm winning, that sounds glorious. It's just being a rough way. Nutflush says I have some plays. Just have to crunch. He says Caden's first official high school golf tournament today. We'll be cheering on Caden. That's really exciting.
Oh, hell yeah. Shout out Nutflush Allen. I was watching Caden. I feel pride for Nutflush Allen's kids, Jimmy the Bag. I swear on my life. I was watching him on Twitter doing his golf swing. I was like, look at that. And I was thinking about what mental advice could I give him? Shout out to Nutflush Allen and Caden. Hell yeah.
I love it. Dan Bonner says Richmond up 31-15 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Great work by all of you guys. Great work. All right, let's move on here to NBA. And let's bring on your expert here rolling with us. We got Compton, California in the house. Not only that, if you want to hang out with our guy Wham Bam, only one place to do it. San Antonio, Texas, Pubapalooza 2, DJ, Big Boss, Wham Bam in effect. Be hanging with us. They get on Thursday. Can't wait for Thursday night. I can't wait. Pistol Pete Loshak going to be there as well. I just to sit at a table with you guys is man, put such a big smile on my face, dude. I can't wait for it. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Walter Trotter Wham Bam.
Oh yeah, man. Feeling good, bro. Feeling good. Love that introduction, man. Hell yeah, bro.
I love it. Wham Bam, ready to get to work here.
When's the poker tournament for the Pub Sports Radio thing? Friday night?
There is a poker tournament on Friday night. It is after the par 3 golf tournament. So we have a poker tournament. Remember our first poker tournament when we got to meet everybody back in Vegas, Pete? IFBC, the winner of that $2,000 was our Trot Wam.
Unreal. I was watching him go. It was so much fun. Hell yeah. Congrats, those are some tough. That was a tough competition there. Some serious players there.
There was a lot of real deal ones out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went under the radar, man. Who would expect?
Yeah.
Who would expect this John Morant looking like?
I mean, there were some fucking scary poker sociopath nerds in that tournament. And Trot Wam took them all down.
That shit was cool. Hey,
man, I can't wait, man.
We can do the same thing. I think I get in a little late though, because I come in on Friday. I think I come in a little late, man. I hope I'll be able to make that. But
what time do you get in? Do you
know? If I'm not mistaken, like 3.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah,
you'll be all right. But who knows? Who knows, bro? Who knows? You never know. We're hoping. We're just gonna pray there.
Yeah, no, you'll be fine. You'll make it, man. There's our guy Jose saying, sign up for Pubapalooza event. The par 3 needs bodies right now. So especially all those of you in Texas that are going to come down if you want to jump into the par 3 event here. All right, let's get to work, fellas. NBA, 8 games on the card. I will set the table, hand it over to Pistol Pete Loshak, who will then hand it over to Trot Wam. 7 p.m. Eastern, Milwaukee Bucks 46-18, 19-12 on the road at the Orlando Magic 27-38, 15-17 at home at Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. Milwaukee 4-1 over their past 5, playing the pace of the 100.8 possessions a game. Orlando 2-3, playing the pace of 100.50 possessions a game. Let's get into the line history here, and then we'll take a look at where the cash lies. And just at a very quick table here, move over to NBA. Here we go. Milwaukee, Orlando. Orlando opening up at Pinnacle at +7. They're now +7.5. That half-point move happened at 11:34 this morning. From a total side of things, it's opened up at 233.5. There's been a 1-cent move to the over. Take a look at the cash here in this one. Where is it? Here we go. What I've lost it. Okay, I'll pull that up. Here we go. Sorry, I know we weren't using it for hockey, so it's back there. Okay, so cash flow here for the first game. We have 43% of the tickets and 93% of the cash. 12,661 tickets in. 93% of cash on the Magic. Wow, but a half-point move against them. From a total perspective, opened up at 233.5, as I said, 60% of tickets and 99% of cash on the under, and it's not moving there. So there's no concern whatsoever with where the money is here. Ron Lofton giving a shout out to Pistol Pete Loshak for that look on the first half under. Milwaukee's won its last 13 games against Orlando. That's the elephant in the room here. Bucks bounce back from their 133-130 loss at home to the Sixers. That snapped their 16-game winning streak by winning 117-111 at Washington on Sunday. They shot 44.9% from three. And Slow-Mo Joe and Javon Carter were huge off the bench. They've also won 8 straight road games as well. Magic coming off their second loss in 3 games, 122-119 at home to the Blazers on Sunday. Banchero, 26. Wagner, 24. Markelle Fultz, 15 and 8. Also 4 steals. No Wendell Carter Jr. with left hip pain. And Gary Harris also dealing with hip pain. They're both listed as day-to-day right now. Pete, your thoughts on this spot before you hand it over to Wham?
I mean, I have absolutely no clue. Obviously, Milwaukee, awesome. Orlando has not been good, including ATS, also trending under. You know, Milwaukee beat them by 20 a few days ago. Why not again here? I really don't know. If you gave me a free play, which basically means nothing, I would throw it on Orlando.
Mike M says trifecta over spot here. Let's hear what Wham Bam has to say. Bucks Magic.
Yeah, you know what? This game is definitely, it's a little bittersweet because I think if I was in a tough spot as far as my future with the Orlando Magic over 26 wins, I'll be, sweating it out. But obviously we cashed that already. So here I'm getting a little clear cap here that I normally would with this Orlando Magic team. And that being said, I like the Bucks here. I like the Bucks to come out early. I like them to come out and whoop ass here. I like the trifecta spot, like Mike M says. Trifecta over spot. I like the trifecta over spot as well. I think there's going to be a lot of points to be made there. What do you think?
Hey, can I just cut it for one quick second? Just if anyone wants a tail, I'm not saying it's a good bet, but I am going to take a modest shot with UMass second half -1.5. Okay, sorry about that. Time is very timely. Trot Wam. Sorry about that.
Of course. So just to repeat that once more, just in case people didn't miss that. What was that again?
Oh, I'm going to take a shot with UMass second half -1.
UMass second half. Make sure I can look at my down. I'm trying to make sure I get some action on that too. But while I'm breaking the rest of this down here, I just think that what I locked in official, let's just come straight to there instead of wasting you guys' time. I took the Brook Lopez over 22.5 point rebounds and assists. That is an official play for me at -110. Just talking about Brook Lopez, he's going up against the 21st ranked in position of allowing points, rebounds, and assists. So that's a good start there. But also over the last 8 games, he's hit this number 6 times, 75% for those who's counting, at an average of 30.8 points, rebounds, and assists as far as what the hits hit at. So I think he's got a pretty good advantage being able to pull this off. It is about the other sometimes when you're going up against a team like Orlando Magic. I think that Brook Lopez has already shown that he's able to hit this number. His last 2 meetings against this Orlando Magic team, he's went over this points, rebounds, and assists. So give me the points, rebounds, and assists as far as the official play for the show. Brook Lopez over 22.5. And I'm still trying to lock in this. I'm trying to look in this UMass right now. I got.
What was that number on Lopez?
It's 22.5 -110.
-110.
22.5 -110. Again, it hit 6 out of the last 8 times. I agree with you, Slow Gems. It's a kind of ugly NBA card as far as size wise, but I think the Bucks first half is something I'm really strong. I'm looking strong towards here. It's just I don't want to fade the Orlando Magic earlier than that, like as far as first quarter. But I think the first first half Bucks, like Mike M says, like the team total, first half team total seems like a good spot too. So kind of not sure how I want to bet that. I kind of want to run that by you guys. But officially, Brook Lopez PRA over 22.5. That's official.
That is locked in. Pete, is there anything that you want in this one?
No.
Rob Free says Orlando beats up on teams because of their size. Magic usually have the size advantage. Not today against the Bucks. Says Bucks easily here for me. And Millsy says Banchero over 19.5 points. Says bet it. All right, that is the first game on the board. Bucks Magic. Let's move on to 7 p.m. Eastern. And for this one, have to pull up the Pistons injury report because it is a mess. Wizards 30-34, 15-19 away. Detroit Pistons 15-58 and 24 at home. We're at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Wizards 2-3 over the past 5, playing at a slow pace, 95.02 possessions a game, while Detroit 0-5, playing at the pace of 99.42 possessions a game. They have lost 8 straight games. Take a look at the line history here for this Pistons-Wizards spot. We have the Wizards opening up -6.5. They're now -8.5. Total-wise, it's opened up at 227. It's dropped all the way to 223. Big move there. In that total, we don't have a money up. I guess due to the injuries, there's not been a lot of tickets into this one. Just 1,834 tickets in. So no cash flow on the total. On the spread, though, 50% of the tickets are on the Pistons and 65% of the cash, but the market moving heavily against them. You have a whole bunch of players out. Most importantly, Bogdanovich sideline with the Achilles, Isaiah Stewart with the hip, Duran with the ankle, Alec Burks with the foot, Magruder with the ankle, and Diallo with the leg.
After yesterday, too. That was yesterday. He got injured. The leg. Crazy. They're
in a big trouble here. A lot of players banged up here. Wizards coming off their second straight loss, 117-111 at home to the Bucks on Sunday. Beal, 33 points. KP for 24 and 13. Kuzma did not play due to a sore right knee. And him and Monte Morris are both listed as questionable. But I think we expect Kuzma in the lineup. I want to say we expect him in the lineup, but we'll let Wham touch on that. Pistons are on the second half of a back-to-back after suffering their 8th straight loss, 110-104 at home to the Blazers on Monday. Take it away for us, Pistol Pete Loshak. Is there any angle that you see appealing here?
I mean, the obvious angle, I think, is Detroit team total under, right? I mean, they've been losing most games, still covering, though. You know, they're 5-4 ATS last 9. So, you know, they've been covering, but going under. You mentioned all the injuries. Washington actually hasn't been bad against the spread. Super obvious, but I don't know. Nothing's really obvious in the NBA. But free play right now, I'd throw it on Detroit team total under at 108 or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's an interesting look. What do you think, man?
Yeah, as far as the Kuzma look, Kuzma is still game time decision as far as an hour ago. So we don't have any real stone cold information there. Like you said, man, these guys are taking. They got a lot of guys out. They got Durant out. They got Stewart questionable. I mean, even if you do got Wiseman, you're only going to have him for probably 3 quarters. He's going to file out in the early 4th quarter. It's tough, bro. It's tough for this Detroit team. One thing that they do have right now that's very consistent is Marvin Bagley. Marvin Bagley over the last few games has just been pretty much crazy as far as what he did yesterday. Yesterday he had 10 points, 8 rebounds. Prior to that, 20, 13, 8, 9, 21, 12, 21, 18. So obviously without a lot of those guys in the lineup, he's probably going to get a big bulk of the usage, big bulk of the the rebounds there. So I kind of would expect him to have a pretty good game as far as props wise. We don't have any official props there because obviously there's so many guys in and out the lineup so far for this game. So you don't really lock in there. So we can't give anything official there because that's kind of where I'm looking. I want to go towards Bagley, most likely probably just rebounds or points. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything else here, I just don't want anything to do with it. I just think that it's a tough game. As far as anything on the side, it probably would be a first half look for the Washington Wizards, especially if Kuzma's announced in. But I don't have any strong opinion other than that. I think that just the first half so far for the Wizards, I think they're 6-3-1 6-3-1 ATS on the road in the first half. And this team, Detroit, they have been a little bit not as good in the first half as a lead. I think they're 1-4 at the house in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. But again, nothing strong enough to make it official today. So as far as any leans here, I do think the first half Wizards a spot and Marvin Bagley. Once we get some numbers on that, that probably will be making my card. We will tweet that out if it is official.
Is there a number where you'll say this has gone too far in the Wizards' direction? Like what if you see Wizards -10?
It's tough because this team is really, really strapped. I heard you say it earlier today, explaining a hockey game about some guys tend to step up in NBA, NHL, something like that. From the words you were saying, I think this is one of those very sneaky games that it could be one of those Detroit step up type of situations. But who are they having to step up, bro? It's like really nobody on this team that I really trust. Corey Joseph is going to be that guy. Like, come on, bro. Like, yeah, it's no way I would even think they can keep up with a team that still is in position to get to the playoffs. As far as the standings, let me pull them up. I think they are.
While you're pulling that up, because they are right there. One thing that the Pistons have done this year is, I guess, they had been really good on the second half of back-to-backs. The last one they weren't. They lost by 16 to Phoenix. Before that, they beat on the second half back-to-back at home. They beat Minnesota 135-118 on the second half of a back-to-back. That surprised us. They also won at Minnesota on the second half of back. Maybe it's just Minnesota's the tonic. They lose by 20 at Philly on the second half of a back-to-back. They covered at New Orleans, and they lost 104-98. They were up in that game, too, in the second half of back-to-back. They beat Utah in the second half of back. They if you bet the Pistons on this every second half of back-to-back, you'd be in a real nice spot here. They cover against Utah. Even before that, they covered against Boston. They covered against Milwaukee before that. They're cover machines on the second half back-to-back. But I guess we're saying right now there's just too many injuries to trust it.
That's the reason why I think I can't trust. I don't want to put my money on the Pistons, but again, I think that Marvin Bagley is going to have a good, solid game here. So I do like something in their direction. It's just you may be kind of talking me into it. If it gets a little out of line, I think early on in the game, maybe you could find a Detroit Pistons spot locked. But I think early on, they already shown us that they haven't been pretty good there. So it's really tough to me, in my opinion. I think I rather take the first half. I'd rather take the first half than take that first half with the Pistons, or take anything early with the Pistons. Maybe a live spot with the Pistons maybe makes sense because, again, 1-4 ATS at the house. I think that's kind of showing us. Even with the guys that they had in the lineup through those 5 games, they still weren't able to do anything. And even though that this team ain't scary, the Wizards, but I think they kind of come out here and whoop ass early on.
Mike M says Wizards have won 6 in a row. First quarter is a favorite outright. Says worth a shot at -1.5. And LJ says, what are we thinking here? Wizards first quarter. Saturated says Equinimus saying Wizards first quarter smash it.
I agree.
So tell me you didn't just say that. Says Dwayne Casey strikes me as the type of coach who is going to have his guys play hard regardless. I definitely couldn't trust the Wizards to lay this kind of number. Saturated says Detroit stayed under 107.5 in 4 of their last 5 games. Jay Peasy says Washington won't push the pace. They play slower than the Pistons.
You know what, Jim?
Yeah.
I'm listening to you guys. You can give me Pistons first half team total under 52.5 -110. That's the current line at Heritage. I just bet that. I'll make that an official play. Pistons first half team total under 52.5 -110.
All right. Mike Wilkerson says UMass game first half under, easy lunch money. Great work, all of you guys. Anything you're making official here, Wham, or do we move on to Sixers Wolves?
Yeah, we could move on to the Sixers Wolves here. I don't have any action for this game, but I think I love the way Pete broke that down as far as taking that team total under with the Pistons there. That makes sense.
Yeah, people loving Wizards first quarter. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll just say shout out to the Pistons again. We get to cap them on Tuesday.
Yeah, no, they are a fun team. Yeah, Equinimus says Wizards first quarter smash it like a BBW. Okay.
Wow.
Pretty confident opinion there.
Talking our language.
Oh, yeah.
Let's move
Also,
on.
my apologies there. That first quarter is very appealing. Over the last 5 first quarters, they have the bottom two, ranked 29th in net rating as far as the Pistons. That may be that should probably be the spot here.
JPZ says Bogdanovich might be back tonight. Says can't move without knowing that. I figured that he would be out of the lineup when I capped it. So that is an important piece to the puzzle. Let's move over to the Target Center, Minneapolis, Minnesota. We've waited a long time for the Timberwolves to play good basketball. Maybe they've just started finally. Sixers 42-22, 18-12 on the road. Minnesota Timberwolves 34-32, 20-14 at home. We're at the Target Center, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Both teams 3-2 over their past 5. Although both have been quite impressive of late. Philly playing at a pace of 97 possessions a game. Minnesota playing at a pace of 102.20 possessions a game. Let's take a look at the line history. This opened up with the Sixers at Pinnacle at -1 at plus money, plus 107. They're now +2. So a pretty big move towards the Timberwolves. I guess explaining that somebody important will not be in the lineup, and one can guess that it will be Joel Embiid. This total opened up at 229. It's now at 229.5. And cash-wise, here we have 9. We don't have the percentage of the money up yet, but 90% of the tickets are on the Sixers, and the market's moving against them. I mean, that's some wild. That's pretty wild. Oh, no, my bad. Sorry. God, my bad. That's the total, of course. Okay, sorry, my bad. Take that all back. Sorry. 90% of the tickets are on the over, and it's not moving. My bad. I apologize for that. On the spread here, we have 61% of the tickets on the Sixers and just 28% of the cash. So big bets coming in on the Timberwolves. And Drew and Giannis have been announced out. Leonard says Bucks off the board. Mike M says Minnesota 0-6 against the spread versus East right now, losing outright. Sixers hottest team in the association right now. No Embiid, no problem, says Mike M. Out of Philly. Philadelphia on the second half, back-to-back after winning their second straight game last night, 147-143 at the Pacers. And this is the final game of a 5-game trip. So they'd like to finish this off with a 4-1 record. Kong's Clip says he has Embiid props on FanDuel, but no James Harden. So maybe it's Harden who's going to be out. Embiid, 42 points last night. Harden, 14, 20, and 9. 20 assists. First Sixer in franchise history to have 2 games of at least 20 assists in the same season. Maxey, 24. McDaniels, 20 in his first start. P.J. Tucker and Tobias Harrison were out of the lineup. Both are expected to be available tonight. Timberwolves coming off their third straight win, 138-134 at Sacramento on Saturday. Ant went for 27 and 8 assists. Conley had 24 points. Jaden McDaniels, 19. Anderson, 18, 9, and 7. Gobert, 13 and 14. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 16 points. Naz Reid, 10. I mean, there are a lot of people pulling their weight finally here while Cat plays video games. Take it away for us, Pistol Pete. Is there anything that interests you in Sixers Timberwolves?
I mean, I have no idea. I want to listen to you guys cap the Cappers. Minnesota obviously playing with great chemistry right now. Philly going super high on a back-to-back. I don't know, man. I was thinking if you gave me a free play right now, I'd take Minnesota team total over. That's what I would take right now. But mostly I'm just going to sit back and cap the Cappers and probably pass on this game unless you guys convince me of something.
I like that look. Let's hear what Wham has to say. Sixers, Wolves.
Yeah, I kind of want to sit back and cap the Cappers here as well, bro, because it's just one of those.
We can't all cap. Someone has to be the cap.
Standoff and shit. We're just all just standing off like that. Like that meme with Spider-Man and shit. Just point at each other. But now I think I want to trust that the 76ers kind of hold it down here. I kind of hope that they do, to be honest with you. But it's just, I mean, this is a tough game too. Like, this is a tough game. I mean, as far as the 76ers, I mean, they haven't really shown me that they are locked in all the way on being one of the better teams here. They have a good matchup against this team if you do have a Embiid out there though. So Embiid, I think he's going to do similar to what you've seen Anthony Davis do to this team. I mean, as far as everyone expect Gobert to be a great rim protector and all this good stuff, against skillful bigs, he's going to have trouble. He's going to have trouble against Jokic, against Anthony Davis, against Joel Embiid. He's going to have trouble against these type of guys. And then really, I think that their perimeter game sucks ass so much. We see them have troubles against the Boston Celtics so many times. So when you go up against an elite wing that can obviously score, like Anthony Edwards, I expect him to have a great game against them as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the way I'm capping this game. It just keeps telling me to take Minnesota. Obviously, Minnesota is a favorite now, so you kind of expect some of these guys to be sitting here. It's just that I can't trust them. You know what I mean? And even then, like I can't trust them at all. I think that I just don't want to trust them. As much as you said it, Jimmy, they have been having guys that's been chipping in. You know, how long are we going to expect Nas Reed to play at this level? How long are we going to expect, these guys to play at this level? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't expect it to last that long. So, it's tough. It's a tough game for me. I don't have any action on this game though, so I'm not going to, waste any more of you guys' time here. But I just think that, if it's a Minnesota or nothing, and I'm really holding my nose if I'm betting them.
In the meantime, Jim, I'm sure you saw it. This fucking post, the comment by Mike M. Look at that. Look at that. Home teams coming off a 4+ game road trip are 3-23 against the spread, facing a team with no rest, Sixers spot.
Yeah, it's how did that not jump out at you? I feel like somebody's going to be missing from the Sixers, and that we should wait, get an even bigger line. I admit that clearly the line is already explaining that someone's going to be out, so I don't know how much it moves, but Slow Jams Arsenal says tied legs for Philly over and nothing. Shogun Soup says I love Sixers overs.
Bo Jackson says I'm looking for Scott Foster. Nah, I'm not, bro. That's my uncle though.
Magic are now +2.5, by the way. Magic are now +2.5. God, leave it to NBA here. I bet you your Brook Lopez props. I bet you got a great number on that.
Yeah, right? I got 22.5, and obviously I got him at a good time there.
They'll go up for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Jay Rush says T-Wolves lost last 6 as favorites versus the Eastern Conference. Wow. Okay, let's keep rolling here. I get the look at Ant Edwards. I'm trying so hard to stay away from props, but I get that 26.5 is appealing. Let's move on here. 8 p.m. Eastern. Brooklyn Nets 36-28, 17-16 on the road at Houston Rockets, 15-49, 9-22 at home. Toyota Center, Houston, Texas. Hopefully, we have our guy LJ from H-Town still.
Hey Jim, just quickly. Did we miss Knicks Charlotte?
No, we didn't. We didn't get there yet.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I did pass Knicks Charlotte accidentally.
I mean, we can skip it if you want. I
got action there. We can go briefly there.
Yeah, let's go back. My bad. That was my bad. I did not mean to do that. That's why I actually listed your Pistons first half team total under on that game, on the Charlotte Knicks game. That's why I missed it. My bad. Let's move back here. Thank you for noticing that. All right, let's go back in action. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Charlotte Hornets 20-46, 9-26 on the road, playing awful basketball the last few games at the Knicks. 39-27, 19-15 at home, playing very, very good basketball. Madison Square Garden, New York. Charlotte 2-3 over their past 5, but they've lost 3 straight since LaMelo went down. 101.10 possessions a game. Knicks 5-0. Of course, they are on a big, legit winning streak. They won 9 straight after that 131-129 double overtime victory at Boston. I'm still so angry about losing that under. But got to get over that. New York 98.59 possessions a game over their past 5. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. Hornets at the Knicks. And there's been no movement here. The Knicks opened at -10. That's where they are right now, -10. There was some movement to 10.5, but it did come back. Totals wise, this opened up at 228.5. It's down to 226. And you have to think that the Knicks could kind of look past this opponent after feeling so good about that big win in Boston. Let's take a look at the line history here. Spread wise, 88% of the tickets are on the Knicks and 93% of the cash, and the market is not moving towards them. Total-wise, this has 59% of tickets and 89% of cash on the under. A big move to the under. I just want to see what they've done at Bet365 with this total. Same deal there. They opened up at 228.5, and they dropped it to 226, but it got down as low as 225 at 9 this morning, so there has been 1 point of bounce back. LJ from H-Town says Knicks trifecta. BJ says Knicks trifecta. Gifted Cartel, Knicks first quarter -4. A lot of love for the Knicks here. Market not moving towards them. Charlotte comes in off its third straight loss, 102-86 at Brooklyn on Monday. So second half of a back-to-back here. They've looked awful. Oubre being their leading scorer the last 3 games, and you're just not going to win unless you're in the G League. Dennis Smith, also only real point guard for the Hornets. Mark Williams, double-doubles. I mean, he's looking good, but not a lot of good things to say about that squad. Knicks coming off their 9th straight win. Emmanuel quickly goes for 38 points. I mean, he looks so good. This team looks so good. Julius Randle averaging 32 over his last 6 games. Brunson was out with a foot injury. We'll hear from Wham if he thinks he will be back in the lineup tonight. Pete, any thoughts here? Hornets, Knicks.
Just like the Pistons game, is it a trap or is it a no-brainer? Charlotte team total under 108. I don't know. They're obviously teams in opposite directions. Knicks great. Charlotte struggling. The offense isn't working. 7 straight unders for Charlotte. So I don't know. Charlotte team total under 108. Is that a no-brainer?
What do you think, Wham?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's it seems like it's too easy here to get back the Knicks, right? I mean, let's start off with what I do got action on though first. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll break down what I think about the game. So as far as the official play for me, it's gonna be Gordon Hayward, person that's averaging 18 points over the last 6 games. Obviously, we don't have any LaMelo in this game as far as the 18 points, 4.6 rebounds, 4.5 assists. So he's going over the 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Quite easy, almost hitting it at the number with the points alone there. I just feel like this is a good opportunity for us to take him. I wanted to figure out a way, and I'm sorry, it's 24.5 instead of 23, 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists, minus 110. I wanted to figure out a way to back this team. As much as I told you guys that I'm a little bit more clear to cap the Magic, similar to this Charlotte Hornets team. I hit the over with the Magic season win total. I hit the under with the last loss that they had with the Brooklyn Nets. They only have 16 games left. We got under 36.5. So obviously, if they win every game, we still gonna get the hook. We still got the hook there, so we cashed that. As far as the season win total under for this Charlotte Hornets team, I expect them to kind of play a little bit tough here in the Garden, though, and that's just how I'm pointing this game out. I don't think that it's going to be as easy as it has been, or at least how easy as this team has been rolling over as of late. Now let's talk about what they have going for them. Obviously, I did mention the Gordon Hayward. I like that prop a lot, but let's talk about Mark Williams. Mark Williams has been a double-double machine, averaging a double-double, 12.5 points, 11.3 rebounds. And then on the other side, the reason why I think that the Knicks have been really killing is because it's been a lot less RJ Barrett, even though he's still averaging 18 points, but there's still been a lot more Emmanuel Quickly. He's averaging 21 points over those last 6 games. Emmanuel Quickly is the reason I feel like this team is going to that point that we're really just looking at this trajectory with the Knicks and the Hawks. Like, man, the Hawks got it for the next few years. You know what I mean? Now you're looking at both of those two teams. I mean, the Knicks looking really well, and I think Emmanuel Quickly is going to be one of those cornerstones. And even then, we're seeing it in the prop. As far as the future market, he's favored now to win 6th Man of the Year. So they are giving him a lot of respect there as far as the Knicks. So I don't think that the Knicks first half is not going to go nowhere. You know what I mean? I love the Knicks first half, especially going against a team like this this Hornets team that haven't been good in the first half all year as far as what they have been able to do covering wise in the first half. So I still like the Knicks first half, first quarter. I understand why you guys like that. They hit the first quarter 8 of the last 10 first quarters. And then as far as the first half, I think the first half is even at a crazy 6-2-2 in the first half at the house. But over the last 10 games, both wise, is 7-3. So the next first half is obviously going to be a look. I understand why you want to take the under there, Pete, with the Hornets. I just think that since I like the Gordon Hayward, maybe I'm a little clear now to cap this team because I don't have the season win total under, going over my head here. So I'm on Gordon Hayward, though. I think that he's going to continue to go over this points, rebounds, and assists as he has been doing already over the last 5 games there. So I'm going to hit that over the head, over 24.5 points, rebounds to Gordon Hayward. And if I had a free play, I'm going to go with the trend that's been killing the Knicks first half, and possibly think that the full game could come back with the Hornets here. So that's the way I'm looking in this game.
I get it. It just feels like a really tough spot for the Knicks to get up for. Maybe it doesn't matter. Saturated, I was just looking at because look, I find the Hornets first quarter appealing after watching what the Knicks just did, but I also went through those 3 games in their first quarters, and they've been atrocious. So they lose one by 5, one other by 5, and the other one by 15. And Saturated has their scoring differential minus 8.3 in first quarter. I mean, I don't know how you can back them, but with all of this money and all this cash on the Knicks, and the market not moving in their direction. Fanatical Jim says Hornets 3-1 against spread last 4 versus the Knicks. Sandwich spot before a 4-game West Coast trip for the Knicks. Knicks coming off OT where they are 0-3 straight up last 3. The following game. Screams Hornets, but tough bet. Very, very, very tough bet. So I do not find anything really appealing here. I feel like the under's already been hit. There has been a little bit of buyback, but that's where I would expect. I would expect the Hornets to try at Madison Square Garden, to try defensively, and the Knicks were shooting threes like crazy in that game on Sunday night. It was all they were doing. The first 8 or 9 shots were all threes. Pete, what appeals to you here?
I'm a pass. Nothing. I mean, if I wanted to be a real psycho, I'd take Knicks money line minus 465, but I'm not going to do that.
What do you think about the Knicks team total under 117.5?
No opinion.
Are they really going to have to put it all out on the floor here? I mean, it's just. But if that's the case, maybe we just move on the under, full game under. But, I mean, I don't see I just don't see the Knicks playing up in this game. Johnny Gunn says full game under. Knicks team total under is a question mark for me, and I guess the full game under as well. I'm trying so hard not to bet totals. On Friday night, we cashed with Celtics minus 6, and then I lost another under by a half point, and I was like so angry. I was just thankful I had horses next day, but I was so filled with rage. God, but I just keep going back to this shit. Well, Wham's on Hayward over 24.5 points per assist. I'm interested in the Knicks team total under in the full game under. Let's move on to the next spot on the board and back to the one that I had opened up. 8 p.m. Eastern. Brooklyn Nets 36-28, 17-16 on the road. At the Rockets 15-49, 9-22 at home. Toilet Center, Houston, Texas. Brooklyn 2-3 over the past 5, playing at the pace 104.2 possessions a game. Houston 2-3, playing at the pace 98.9 possessions a game. What a turnaround for Brooklyn. So tell me you didn't just say that on Friday. I think it was Friday. It might have been Thursday, but was talking about, because I like the spot I'm in with the 3 futures to not make the playoffs. And he was like, what about Brooklyn to not make the playoffs? And I was like, oh, God, you're right. I mean, it just correlates with everything that I think. And so I moved on them not to make the playoffs at plus 300. It's only plus 310 now. I thought it would be worse after those really big wins. I mean, obviously not the Hornets win, but beating the Sixers was such a surprise, when they're down 28 in the second quarter. The fact that they would come back when I sort of had counted them out. So I don't know I need them to not have that 6 seed, so I have a chance at this plus 300. Let's take a look at the line history for this one here. Brooklyn, Houston. Houston looking very good against, the Spurs, but a couple nice games for them. This opening up with Houston plus 6.5. They're now plus 6. Total-wise, under 229.5 has gone to up a point, up to 230.5. We already heard LJ said that he wants to back. Oh, wow. Tell me he didn't just say that since he's a plus 400. I got 310 at my book. I'm kind of happy that hasn't moved too much.
Shout out to LJ.
LJ's been saying, there he is right there, saying bet the Rockets first half for the rest of the year, or at least the next 10 games. LJ's on Rockets plus 3 first half, says he will be live in the building. Ty Clinton says, LJ, you from the H? You're damn right. He's from the H, man. Trilogy play today. And Ty Clinton, you got to run down to San Antonio with us, man, and party with us. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this one. We have total-wise 82% of the tickets, 81% of cash on the over, and money, and that's gone up a point. On the spread, we have 38% of tickets and 94% of cash on the Rockets. It just feels like the Rockets are the sharp play here. Can you do it? Brooklyn comes in off their second straight win, 102-86 at home versus the Hornets on Sunday. 4-6 now since the deadline. We're 2-6 and looking like they were going to fall completely out. 3-game lead over Miami for 6th. I need them to fall out of that position badly. Bridges went for 33 points and 8 boards. He's averaging 26.1 points per game in the 9 games for the Nets. Rockets coming off their second straight win, 142-110 at home over the Spurs on Sunday. 8 of them went in for double figures, and Jalen Green went for 31 on 11 of 19 shooting. Take it away for us here, Pistol Pete. Anything interest you in Brooklyn, Houston?
I have no clue, but if LJ from H-Town says Houston first half, that's what I would throw my my free play on. No clue at all what to make of the Nets. Have the Nets turned a corner or not? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Wham, your call.
Yeah, we going all the way to the H-Town. We going back to the H-Town, man. It's only right, bro. I love it. I love what LJ talking. I love everything that he's saying. I'm taking a +7 full game. I think they hold it down at the house, being one of the best for home court to start the season. I think, like you saying, to get back to that. And then let's talk about this team as being one of the worst first half teams on the road, 11-21-1. Over the last 10 games, they only covered one first half on the road, only one first half on out of the last 10 road games there. So I like this first half look a lot, man. I think that this team is going to finally figure it out towards the end, just like Jalen Green when we was having the Pupapalooza last time. It's going over the 20.5 points. I think they are going to have, some similar best team success there right before they fire Silas over the summer. I think they're going to show that the next coach, they have some talent here. We got some talent here. We got some players here. And then I also like the kid here, and I just fucking butchered his name. And let me pull it up here. But I like they have a newer rotational player that's been playing out there for this Orlando Magic team. Usman Garuba. The power forward there, he's been playing a lot with them lately, and I love his intensity that he brings to the table. He's similar to like a Vanderbilt type player as far as Vando for the Lakers. He's that similar type of player. Puts it in there. Only gets about 11 minutes, but it's starting to get a creep up to the 20 range there. So I kind of expect him to have a little bit more run. You need that type of intensity on the defense for this Houston Rocket team. That problem is that they haven't been having that much effort on that side of the ball. So obviously I love the fact that they have KJ starting in the lineup now. I wish that my guy Jabari figures it out with the threes. We're not going to be on that anytime soon, but for now, we hope he knocks them down. We hope that Jalen Green goes up and KPJ continue to be, pretty solid since he's came back. So I like the Houston Rockets here. I think that Brooklyn, yes, you're going to get Mikal Bridges to continue to go over those threes that people have been cashing with. You're going to continue to get those guys to play pretty good defense. So I do understand the under. I'm just going to go with the team in Houston Rockets. I expect them to continue to hold it down, at least covering-wise, in this meetings. Last 5 meetings, they covered 4 of the last 5, and I expect them to continue to do so here early on. So give me the first half with Houston. I didn't lock that one in yet, so whatever available I could get there. But I got the +7. Did tweet that out before the show. We got +7 with the Houston Rockets. I know right now you're getting +6 is around. I already got the 7 there. So whatever we're getting right now with the first half, we'll make that official.
Beautiful. Beautiful. It looks like there was just a move to Brooklyn first half at Penny. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to pull up Penny because I believe I can get you a 3.5 now.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
that has not been available. So I'm going to check that out. Pete, while I'm line shopping, if you could touch on, because I'm interested in the Rockets. I'm interested in them carrying over their offensive prowess from the Spurs series. I'm interested in them early. I see the first half. I'm interested in the first quarter. I'm also interested in that team total over 112 for the Rockets. What do you think, Pete?
Man, I really don't know. I mean, I think you can take any game against the Spurs from any NBA team with a little bit of a grain of salt. And the Nets, if they turn the corner, I trust LJ from H-Town. I take Houston here, but that's not my own capping. That's just I trust what he has to say about it.
My bad. Also, I was looking. I was looking. The line's moving towards. Oh, it is here. What I've got? Huh. I have. I guess this site's not refreshing because I'm on the site on Pinnacle and it's a different line. So We can only give you the 3 right
It's
now.
all good. We'll take that. That's what I betting that anyway, so it's all good.
All right, let's give that to you. So that 3 though, right now, just so you guys know, it's moving very fast at Pinnacle. It's at -114. Now we can give you a better line than that, but
Yeah, I got -110 at Bovada, and I think you could get a minus. Oh, you know what? They do have the 3.5 at Bet Online. I'm actually gonna lock that in.
wow,
Bet
it just
Online,
moved.
-110.
It just moved at Bet 365. Wow.
-110, 3.5. I got that official. Bet Online.
All right, so you got +7 at -110, and you have the Rockets first half +3.5 at -110. Joe Uribe says I'm a Nets believer. This roster is just solid. Tell me you didn't just say that. Says Cam Johnson over 2.5 threes, Bridges over 1.5 threes, maybe Finney Smith over 1.5 threes. Rockets bleed threes, so the opportunity should be there. Leo said I almost forgot. Very good plays. Brooklyn over 92.5 points at the end of the third quarter. Ron Lott says books are catching up to the Bridges points, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah, they are.
All right. Rockets first half and full game for Wham. Also, LJ on Rockets first half. He will be in the building. And I'm interested in the action that you guys have. I'm interested in Rockets carrying over that offense prowess from last game, feeling okay about themselves. And Brooklyn coming off a couple easy victories. One incredible comeback and then one easy victory at home. Okay, let's move on to the next spot on the board. We have just 3 games left before we get into the college basketball card. We have all the afternoon games ready for college basketball. So let's get to work. Next up for us, 8 p.m. Eastern, Golden State Warriors 34-31, 7-24 on the road at the Oklahoma City Thunder, 30-34, 19-15 at home, Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Warriors 4-1 over the past 5, playing the pace 99.7 possessions a game. Oklahoma 2-3, playing at the pace of 102.3 possessions a game. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have the Thunder opening up at +4, -105. They're now +4, -102. It did get to 4.5 for a little while, but it's back at 4. The total opened up at 241. It's gone up 2 points to 243. Go over to the cash on this one. We have the Warriors have 72% of the tickets and 83% of cash, but the market not really moving towards them. Total wise, we have 71% of tickets, 75% of cash on the under, and yet it's gone up to 143. Coin says feels like an OKC spot. Slow Jams Arsenal says Golden State team total over coming off bad shooting game. Steph's second game back should be in a groove now. Markel says Klay Thompson 5 to 6 threes tonight. Warriors had their 5-game winning streak snapped in a 113-105 loss at the Lakers on Sunday. Curry came back after missing 11 games. Iguodala came back, first game since January 13th, 4th game he's played all year. Curry was 8 of 20 from the field, 5 of 13 from 3. Thunder coming off their second straight win, 129-119 at home over the Jazz on Sunday night. This is the final game of a 6-game homestand. Shea came back after missing 5 games and looked incredible, 38 points, 10 of 17. Take it away for us here. Pistol Pete Loshak, Warriors, Thunder.
No, I got nothing on this one. Obviously, the Warriors are going unders now. Yeah. It does feel like an OKC spot. Both their games went over. I mean, I got absolutely nothing on this one. Will Golden State's under, trending continue? Really not sure. I would, if you gave me a free play right now, I'd throw it on Warriors team total under. I probably would, but that's just me right now with my own analysis of this. I have no clue really, and probably going to pass.
Let's hear what Wham Bam has to say. By the way, Bobby Boucher, Bobby Bomb play of the day is in. Wizards first quarter -2.5. Wizards first quarter -2.5. Wham, take it away here. Warriors, Thunder.
Yeah, I think I only like one play here in this game. I think my guy Ski may be talking me on to that Draymond Green points and rebounds. I know he likes that. Rebounds and assists. Rebounds and assists is what he likes there. But I'm thinking that maybe points, rebounds, and assists with Kevon Looney. We know how OKC struggles against centers. They're ranked 27th in opposing points, rebounds, and assists in that position. And then as far as what he has been doing over the last 9 games, he's went over this, 7 out of the last 9 games. I know they have been having guys in and out the lineup like Draymond. Obviously, Draymond will be in the lineup today. But when he does hit this number over the 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists, he's averaging at 25.7 points, rebounds, and assists. So he's about like 7, points higher than what he actually needs. So I think that he may be a good spot here, even with Draymond coming back, still getting a good number at 18.5. That's the only thing I was thinking here. I don't really want to touch going against a team in OKC that, really don't have too much to play for, but they are still one of those scrappier teams there that I don't want to jump, just be so quick to jump against. And then especially, even though you have seen this the Golden State team, like you mentioned, Pete, they have been trending towards the under. They have been one of the better defensive teams in the last 5 games. They're ranked number 1 in defensive rating, and as far as their pace has been a little bit slower than normal there. So it's not really bottom 5 or bottom 10, just middle of the pack pace. So kind of want to look at this team possibly having a struggle here on the offensive side. We've seen that Steph Curry did come back, but they had problems the whole game all on the offensive side of the ball. I kind of want to credit the Lakers defense though in that game, but for the most part, Steph being coming back and so on and so forth, he can have a game that goes off. And we did see Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson both kind of take on the reins when he was out. So maybe they could figure it all out and show us that this is a type contender team. Finally winning a road game. That's another problem here. They're one of the worst road teams to back, in the whole entire league. One of the best home teams, and it evens all the way out because they're right there with they're right there with Orlando and these bottom tier teams for the worst record at the house. So on the road. So it's a tough game. So wobbler. If I had anything in here, it's going to be Kevon Looney. I think he gets over the 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Other than that, yeah, fuck this basketball game, bro. I'm back with it.
Yeah, I wish the Warriors were coming off a win. You feel like they probably figure something out. I also am surprised that the bets are coming in on the under, and yet this total just keeps climbing. 243.5 right now, with all the money coming in on the under. And then the Warriors team total at 123.5. I'd be appealing to try to get underneath that, but I don't think I can do it. I don't think Warriors team total under 123.5 just seems so high. Okay, I'll spend a little bit more time on it, but let's move on. Move on to the next spot on the board. And our guy LJ from H-Town has given us the Trill OG play of the day. It's Mavs first half -4.5. LJ saying Mavs 14-7 against the spread, 17-4 straight up versus West at home in the first half. Jazz 2-10 straight up last 12 first half against the spread. Jazz do not look good. 31-34, 11-21 on the road at the Mavs, 33-32, 21-13 at home. American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Both teams 2-3 over the past 5. Utah playing the pace of 102.37 possessions a game. Dallas 2-3 playing the pace of 99.80 possessions a game. And we've also heard that Walker Kessler may not be in the lineup now this evening. Is he sick?
I think he's just questionable. Oh, it is an illness though. I think they have put it down.
Okay, yeah, because so let's take a look at the line history here. We have just 2 games left for this one. Dallas opening up -7. They're now -9. 2-point move towards them. Total wise, it's opened up at 232.5. It's up to 238. So just to put this in perspective, this line came out of Pinnacle at 7:53 this morning. So in 4 hours, we've gone up 5.5 points to 238, and it's juiced to the over. I mean, that's just wild. Am I really supposed to sit here? I guess with Kessler out of the lineup, maybe the paint is available, but I just find that shocking. Let's take a look at the cash flow here for this one. Total wise, 75%, 76% of tickets, and 95% of cash on the over. And now we're at 238.5. It's just nuts. Like the advanced models would be that wrong. In times that this has happened this year when I've gone against it, it's worked for me. But I just don't have a lot of confidence right now. Mavericks have 53% of the tickets and 76% of the cash. Markets move 2 points in their direction. Markel says no defense tonight. Andrew G says Mavs might feast today. Joe Yurkovich parlayed Knicks halftime, full-time with the Mavs money line. Worked out to a minus 111 spot for Joe. Jazz coming off their third straight loss, 129-119 at Thunder on Sunday. Clarkson, 18 and 12 assists, so feeding the ball a little bit. Sexton continues to be out with the left hamstring strain. Mavs coming off their third loss in 4 games, 130-126 at home to the Suns on Sunday. Luka went for 34 and 9. He's got a thigh issue. Says it's been bothering him for a week. Take it away here, Pete. Anything interest you? The Trill OG play of the day from LJ is in. Anything interest you?
Yeah, it feels like the Mavs are just going to roll here, especially offensively. I agree with the no defense assessment of this game. So maybe I'll take Dallas full game team total over, but I'll definitely take a shot with Dallas first half team total over 60.5. I like that. If it loses, that's okay. But I think it's a solid play. Dallas first half team total over 60.5 minus 110. That's the current line at Pinnacle.
Pete is in. Mavs first half team total over 60.5. There's Von Polo in the house. Equinimus says he bet the over. Wham Bam, take it away. Jazz Mavs.
Yeah, so again, it's going to be a theme here with a lot of my props, points, rebounds, and assists. We're going to go with Lauri Markkanen, points, rebounds, and assists. Kind of do like that Walker Kessler information there. It's going to allow us to give us a little bit more usage here for Lauri. Lauri over the 36.5 points, rebound, and assists has hit 3 over the last 5 games. In the last 5 games, he's averaged about 40.4 points, rebounds, and assists, having an average of 29 points within the last. Sorry, I just had it up. I don't know where I just did with that. I hate when I have all these tabs open, bro. It just hard to navigate this shit. Okay, so so he's averaged 29.5 points in the last 4 games, 8 rebounds, and obviously 1.6. So he's getting us that total there. As far as his last 4 games, I expect him to be like kind of what he's been already, an all-star for this team against a team that, we know they don't have solid enough defense to be able to win games. They have to rely on their legendary offense with Kyrie and Luka. So I expect them to try to make this a track meet, of course, just like our guys were saying in here. No defense, kind of what we all should be expecting here. This is a big number, premium number for this Dallas team. One thing about Utah, they do have a tough stretch through the end of the season. So they do have a tough stretch to go out like that. But I just think that this is a good chance for us to be able to go over the total, along with this team is ranked, I believe, 29th. 27th in points, rebounds, and assists to opponents. And again, over the 5 games, he's hit that at 45%. At 60%. I think that this Lauri Markkanen is a good spot here for us. I wanted to take the points too, but I think the points, rebounds, and assists with once I got the Kessler information, I just thought to double up with it. So I got it at minus 112. Right now, you're getting at minus 115. We did tweet this out at minus 112, but minus 115. I don't think it may be moving a little bit more once Walker is announced out. So. And it is an illness that they listed here. I just confirmed that. So I like the Lauri Markkanen over 36.5 points. As far as the side here, I think it's a premium number here, man, to a team that I don't think that's going to be able to defend. And you do have some of the guys that were missing kind of back for Utah, like Jordan, like Jordan Clarkson. Lauri, I expect him to have a good game here today. Still no Colin Sexton, but he's going to be due sometime soon. And until that happens, I just think Lauri holds it down, possibly gets 35 points today, and we get this over 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists with ease here. So I like that look a lot. Probably one of my favorite plays today, especially if Kessler out.
You got it locked in. Pete has the Mavs first half team total over 60.5. Wham has Markkanen over 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists at minus 112. Let's move on to the final spot on the board, and we'll let our guy Stimmy OG lead us into it. He's gone back to work, but he stopped by to let us know that he's on the Lakers money line super big, and he does make big boy bets. So Stimmy OG on the Lakers money line here. We have Memphis Grizzlies 38-25, 12-20 on the road. At the LA Lakers 31-34, 16-15 at home. We're at Crypto in LA. A lot of talk about what's going on for the Memphis Grizzlies and their star Ja Morant. Memphis 3-2 over the past 5, playing the pace 99.90 possessions a game. Lakers 3-2, playing the pace 101.5 possessions a game. Let's take a look at the line history here at Pinnacle for this spot. I did move on the Lakers to make the playoffs. I got to go back to it, but I think I only have like plus 165. I believe that's the number. Lakers open up -2, -105. They're now -1 at plus money. So we'll take a look at the money line. Maybe that'll give a better idea. They've gone. This is a much better idea. Lakers opened up at penny last night at -124. They're down to -102. Memphis are now the favorites. Total wise here, we have the total opening up at 226. It's dropped a point to 225. Take a look at and their BJ's also Lakers money line, $500 best bet. So big boy bets on the Lakers here. 86% of tickets, 80% of the cash on the Lakers, and we've seen it flip. Very interesting. Flip at Pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at the total here. We have 46% of the tickets and 83% of cash on the under, sitting at 225 right now. Sharon Pulliam says only one look for him. One thing that he's hammering. Ty Jones over 23.5 points and assists at -130. Coin says Lakers under 226 was the play. Sammy Comer on Lakers money line as well. Memphis coming off their second straight loss, 135-129. The Clippers on Sunday. Morant will be out of the lineup for how long? We don't know. He's the talk of sports right now about what's going on with him. Dylan Brooks will be back. He had the 1-game suspension. Brandon Clark lost. His year is done with the Achilles injury. Steve Adams still dealing with the knee injury. And that's the situation. So Adams still going to be out. Tyus Jones went for 20 in the third quarter alone. Desmond Bane had 30 to lead Memphis. Desmond Bane's had a great season. Lakers coming off their second win in 3 games, 113-105 at home to the Warriors on Sunday. 4-2 since the All-Star break. LeBron has been out for the last 4 games with the tendon injury in his right foot. D'Angelo Russell's missed the last 5 games. Russell, by the way, listed as questionable today, so it's possible he could be in. And AD has really stepped up, man. 33.8 points per game, 11.8 boards over his past 4. Playing hurt, playing through it. Had 39 points against Golden State, went 14-25 from the field. He's listed as probable with the right foot injury. Pistol Pete, our final NBA game on the board, Grizzlies, Lakers, any interest?
Man, you guys are all loving the Lakers. I understand it. Obviously, Memphis, though, cashed for their last 5. Lakers have been great. Also, ATS, though, all those injuries for Memphis. Why is the line so low? I'm not sure, but that doesn't mean there's no value there. I'm just going to listen to what you guys have to say. I mean, obviously, my first thought was Memphis team total under, even though their last game was super high scoring. So that was my thought, and I might pull the trigger on that after I listen to what you guys have to say. Obviously, that's partially at least in line with the Lakers. And then Coin says that says under 226 was the play. I'm thinking Memphis team total under, Jim.
Interesting. I like where you're going with it. What's Wham have to say?
Got to talk about the Lakers again. And yes, I'm with you guys all in the chat. I think D'Angelo Russell does play today. Upgraded to questionable. We have his pal Gasol jersey retirement night. It's a lot of stars going to be here. A lot of old players. Too bad Kobe won't be here. Rest in peace to Kobe. So it will be something in the air. You know what I'm saying? I do like that D'Angelo Russell will be playing here. So, it kind of give a little bit more of an old Laker feel because he's out there playing. And they're going up against a team that's going to be led by Desmond Bane and Tyrus Jones. A lot of people like Tyrus Jones today. Even my guy at Mitch and Ness gave me a great information regarding Tyrus Jones. I think he's been going over his 1.5 steals at plus money, plus 150, 7 out of the last 9 games. That sounds like a good look there. But I'm with you guys. I think the under is in play. I thought it was at 226 when it opened up. Right now I'm seeing 224.5. So there's a lot of action on the under. The line being moved towards the Grizzlies' favor now. I'm seeing pick'ems at Bovada, -107s and some other spots here. Shout out to our guy Sammy. I got the -105, -2. I'm sorry, I got the -1.5 and a -2 within the last night and this morning bets here that I locked in on the Lakers. Do I want to hop in on the triple up on the Lakers? I ain't gonna lie, because I do feel like I should be able to triple up on them in some form of capacity within this playoff push. This is a great important game. They're only a half game out of the play-in, or really tied for the play-in 10th seed right now. It's just tiebreaker. That's reason and keeping them out. So I think the Lakers are going to show that they are a really good team. Once LeBron comes back, all else fails. I think you're still going to be at that bullshit show that we've seen so far. So as long as he doesn't come back prior to the playoffs, I think we're going to be good in the playoffs. I think the Lakers are playing really good basketball as far as defensive wise, keeping AD in the paint. Come on, man. Keeping these guys in the paint, keeping guys out of the paint. The last game we played against Memphis, obviously they had Ja Morant. They went 84 points in the paint, something I wasn't expecting. I thought we were going to play a little bit better defense in the paint. We obviously just melted the fuck in, start to win after that. So I think the Lakers kind of took that game as a punt and felt that they didn't need to win that game because they gave up so many points, one of the most points that they gave up in the whole season. In that one game they last played against the Grizzlies, I don't think they're going to get 84 points, especially without Ja Morant in this game. So no Ja Morant, no Steven Adams. There's no way I could think that the Lakers are going to be not in this game, or at least not winning this game. I just feel like this is just a good spot for them as far as them being at the house, Ja Morant being out the lineup. Obviously, you don't have Brandon Clark. You don't have Dylan Brooks. You don't have Steven Adams. You know, it's a lot of guys being in and out the lineup. So I like D'Angelo Russell to return. I think the line will move in his favor once that happens. Maybe this is a little bit something that we'll see get bought back once that happens there. So give me the Lakers, man. I ain't scared of the line movement. I think the money line is a good play if you like them right now. I got in at the -1.5, -2. This is an official play for me, -110. Lakers -1.5.
Okay. And you can add on for me, Jimmy the Bag. Memphis, team total under 113, -118. It's 112 at a lot of places, but Pinnacle has 113, -118. So I'll take that one. Memphis, team total under 113, -118. That's an official play.
All right, let's review all action. Thank you to our expert, Wham Bam, in the house. First off, for the Bucks Magic, it was a triple up over spot for him. Let's just see what's going on with the total quickly here since the announcement of Giannis and no Drew. We have the total at down to 227. God, I wonder if it's time to go over that number. You know, I think it is. I think it's time to go over that 227 now with the announcement of them being out. Wham's on Lopez over 22.5 points or rebounds and assists. Next up, Pistons. Pete is on the first half team total under 52.5. Bobby Boucher's Bobby Bomb play of the day is Wizards first quarter at -2.5 at -110. Wham's on Hayward over 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists at -110. I have interest in the Knicks team total under and the full game under. I got to sit with that a little longer. Sixers, Wolves, we have stayed off. But here, Wham is on the Rockets. First half +3.5 -110 and full game +7 -110. I'm also interested in that, and the team total over 112. Interested in that. Warriors team total under 123.5 is something that I'm going to be sitting with tonight. Pete is on the Mavs first half team total over 60.5. Wham's on Marketing over 36.5 points, rebounds, assists, and LJ from H-Town gave us the Trill OG play of the day's Mavs first half -4.5. Shout out to LJ from H-Town. He'll be with us tomorrow, as will Durrell. So we have double up action again. Durrell and LJ will be rolling with us for NBA tomorrow. It's going to be great. Wham's on the Lakers -1.5. Pete's on Memphis team total 113, under 113 for the Grizz. Grizz team total under 113. And both Stimmy, OG, and our guy BJ are making big boy bets on the Lakers money line. That is the situation. BJ saying this is Memphis fourth row game fade. There you have it. Follow Wham Bam on Twitter at Trot Wam. Also, check him out not only here with us on our NBA Pub Hub, but of course with Who Bangin' Sports as well. My man Wham, anything you want to shout out that's going on this week for you, my guy?
Yeah, man. Be back here on Pub. We'll be at the Pub Palooza as well. Make sure you guys get your tickets. It's going to be a hell of an event. I will be there, Jimmy, and along with the legend Loshak, we will all be there. Big Ragu, DJ Big Boss, Ski, Prophet, Dutch Boy, and a lot others, man. Come on, man. Y'all don't want to miss that. We're going to be having a great time. drinking a lot of drinks, passing out drinks, having a lot of fun. Parking lot pimping, like my God Dutch always says. Yes, we will be doing that. We will be doing that. Parking lot pimping. But other than that, man, I can't wait to be here again, man. It's been a pleasure, bro. Let's win some tickets, brother.
There he is. Our guy, Wham Bam 3000. All right, it's time to get into college basketball. Pete already on a winning start with that first half under that he gave out to all of you guys.
Although the second half that I intervened with Jimmy the Bag was a massive loser, but that's the way college basketball goes. They didn't show up. They just didn't show up. So I apologize to anyone who tailed that. Hopefully you bet sized appropriately, which you have to do in college basketball and all sports. But, I didn't make that official. I just threw it out there. But, I just want to officially, formally apologize. You know what I'm saying?
I do, but you gave out a winner off the hop, and
yes.
We know how this world that we've chosen works. Rick J in the house says he was on that first half under two. Great to have you here for college basketball, and great to have our expert joining us on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and more. We're gonna have a lot more action here. He's also on NCAA Pub Hub. That's gone Saturday and Sunday now. He stars in that. He stars on the Friday NCAA Net Profits. But we have a lot of college basketball action going off, and our Sunday night live stream should probably be with the selection show as well, live betting. So I'll talk with him about that. But right now, please welcome to the show. You can hang with him at Pubapalooza in San Antonio. But he's here for us right now. Please welcome to the show from Dallas, Texas, our guy, Daby Cab. How are you doing, Cab, my man?
Not starting off with the mute right off the rip. I'm good, man. I'm good. Jimmy, Pete, good to see you guys, man. I'm pumped about San Antonio. I mean, it's right around the corner. Right after a week, we're going to be down there kicking it with all you guys. So everyone in the chat, man, get your fucking tickets. Get down there. It's going to be worth it, I promise.
Oh, I can't wait. Absolutely can't wait. Just need to make sure that my bankroll is strong as bull. And, God, that's a battle each and every day. But let's get to work. Daby Cab, we have all afternoon action right here, right now. Ron Crawford giving us his NCAA spreadsheet play today. That's on Boston College -6.
Oh, shit.
Crawford. Boston College -6. I believe that's the fifth game we're talking about today here. It is, because we have all games that are happening before 5 p.m. So that's our schedule today. We're all games before 5 p.m. and then all of the conference finals as well. Let's get to work here right now. 2 p.m. Eastern, A-10 championship first round. Loyola Chicago Ramblers, 10-20, 4-14 in conference for St. Joseph's Hawks, 14-16, 8-10 in conference. We're at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. See what we're dealing with the line history here first. Then we'll go into the cash flow. And here we go. We're coming off a good week in college basketball. I need it to continue very, very, very much. Start with the line movement. A possible surprise. Loyola Chicago have gone from dog to favorite here. Surprise. That's at Pinnacle. They've gone from +2 to -1.5. Let's see what BetOnline has done here. BetOnline has made Loyola gone from +3 to -1 juiced. This is a big, big move. I know the money lines aren't the same because they don't come out at the same time. But even then, with the money line coming out at 7:15 this morning, Loyola's gone from +112 to -118. But they got as high as -127. And this huge move, by the way, towards Loyola Chicago has happened in the last 35 minutes. So a lot to talk about in that regard. Totals wise, it's opened up at 143. It's now at 143.5. So a slight move towards the over. Ryan Mueller got Loyola +2. Excellent work, my man. And Jake Burns says Boston College guy Quentin Post might not play. Let's take a look at where the cash lies here for this one. Again, this one pops off in 36 minutes. 42% of the tickets and 66% of cash is on Loyola. Total-wise here, 68% of tickets, but just 49% of cash on the over. So there is some bigger bets coming in on the under. Loyola Chicago snapped their 4-game losing streak, winning their final game of the season 76-73 at LaSalle on Saturday's 3.5-point dogs. St. Joseph snapped their 4-game losing streak in their final regular season game of the year 83-67 at home to Richmond as 2-point dogs last Wednesday. So they've been off for 6 days. St. Joseph's destroyed Loyola at home 86-55 earlier in the year and then beat them again 83-71 at Loyola recently as 4-point dogs. Pete, A10 championship first round, Ramblers, Hawks.
I'm not touching this one pregame. Maybe I'll have a halftime play, which hopefully won't be as bad as the UMass play. But yeah, I mean, Loyola obviously last place in the division, but they've been the conference, but they've been getting extreme love over the past few games. That has happened. They were actually a favorite, against Rhode Island, and they lost that game. But then they beat LaSalle outright in their last game. So this is going to be a pass for me.
Daby Cab, game on. Take it away.
I think what we're dealing with here with this line movement is St. Joseph's their duo in the front court. They were still questionable, so I'm going to go ahead and guess they're not playing.
Right.
I'm not going to go against line movement like this, but I think they still have enough firepower to take care of Loyola here. I mean, you touched on it. They've beaten them by an average of 21 points in their 2 games this season. Loyola struggles to score, really. They've averaged under 70 points in their first 2 meetings between these two teams. And if you look, I know Pete had said they've kind of turned it around a little bit, but they're really right now just 1-4 ATS their last 5. Where on the other side, you're looking at a team that's 10-4 their last 14. I'm not going against this line movement because, look, as much as I want to get involved in these early games, these tournaments and during the NCAA tournament, even the NIT tournament, I'm going to have action all fucking day, almost every day. And there's no reason to jump into it right now. I can wait just a little bit longer.
I wonder with the bigs out for St. Joe's, you're going to have 2 centers out as well and a power forward. I wonder with them out if the paint's just going to be, open for scoring. And this dropped with the sharp money down to 142.5. But since then, it's been coming back up to 143.5. Can we trust these teams offensively? I mean, both times St. Joseph has played Loyola, they put up a ton of scoring, but now without their bigs, is it the other way around? Billy Friedrich still looking at St. Joe's first half here. And that's the situation. Mike M. banging on St. Joe's first half, team total over 67.5. I guess this over with the paint being open for business is appealing. Pete, did you have any interest at all on a total in this one, or there's no edge there?
No, I'm sure there is. I just don't know what it is.
Cab, did you have any interest in a total in this one?
No.
Okay. Just feels like that over might be in business here. I'm going to have to sit on this a little more. Again, it starts at 32 minutes, so this show will probably just be finishing up at that point. Let's move on to the second spot on the board here. ACC tournament first round. Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets 14-17, 6-14 in conference versus Florida State 9-22, 7-13 in conference. We are at Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro. Let's take a look at the line history here. We have Georgia Tech opening up at at +1. They've moved to -2. Another dog becoming a favorite here. Let's go to BetOnline and see if they've done the same thing, +1 to -2. Here, Georgia Tech's gone from -1 to -2. Interesting. Now, so this opened up with Georgia Tech -1, and within 10 minutes, they were +1. 11 minutes after that, they were +2. Then the market started moving back. So the early movement was towards Florida State. Totals-wise, this opened up at 146.5. It's dropped 2 points to 144.5. Cash-wise here, for the total, 64% of tickets and 83% of cash is on the under. We've seen it drop 2 points. And for the spread, we have 72% of tickets, 71% of cash on Georgia Tech, and the market has moved in their direction. Jake Burns says Georgia Tech for me. Take it away here, Pete. Any interest in the ACC tourney first round?
Well, this is what I'm thinking about, Jimmy the Bag. Obviously, you would understand why there would be some huge love for Georgia Tech. They've been awesome ATS recently. They've covered like 8 in a row or whatever. Florida State's been awful. They've been losing most of the time ATS. But conference tournaments can be really wacky and weird. I mean, Georgia Tech has started to a lot of their successes come from excellent 3-point shooting. Florida State, they beat Miami, beat them outright, right? They beat Georgia Tech by 10 in January. They're coming off a horrible loss. So it might, and Florida State's a bad team, but it might be a buy low spot on them. I did bet Florida State first half +1. Now that might be an even worse call than my call on UMass in the second half of the Richmond game, believe it or not. But I bet it, and I might make it official, Jim.
Because you're right about Tech coming off their third straight win, 73-65 at Boston College on Saturday's 4.5-point dogs. Florida State coming off their second straight loss to end the season. It was pretty ugly, 82-60 at Virginia Tech on Saturday's 10.5-point dogs. And as you said, they defeated Georgia Tech 75-64 at home in their lone meeting this year back on January 7th as 2-point favorites. Daby Cab, take it away. Yellow Jacket Seminoles.
Yeah, you guys have both touched on it. These teams are trending in opposite direction. Georgia Tech, 3 straight, won 4 of their last 5. Only loss in those last 5 games was 68-76 to Pitt, so not a bad loss. Florida State on the other side lost their last 2, lost 4 of their last 5. Their lone win, like Pete said, was that win against Miami by 1 point, 85-84. So it was a good win. But, Georgia Tech, like I said, coming in this game pretty hot. They're putting up 69.6 points per game. That's 229th in the country. They're getting about 35.3 boards. That's 151st. They move the ball around, which I like. That's one of the big things for me in college. They're getting 14 assists per game, which is only 191st, but that's still a little that's barely below average. In scoring defense, they give up 70.5 points per game. And Florida State, on the flip side, looks about the same. Average the exact same amount of points, 69.6 points per game. They're only pulling down 31.1 rebounds, which is 343rd in the country. They're averaging about 13.4 assists, and they're 338th in scoring defense, allowing 76.7 points per game. That's terrible. Neither of these teams can shoot. But when I look at this defense, I'm off this game because I kind of was with Pete. I kind of wanted to take Florida State. I don't know what it was. I knew everybody would be on Georgia Tech, but I can't back that defense. 343rd in scoring defense is just horrible. So I'm off this game.
I get it. I guess I have some interest in the under. And, the first game of the day there in the morning, maybe the first half under would be the better way of looking at this. First half under. I'm looking at that first half under here. All right, let's move on. Next up for us, we head to the WAC tournament first round. More afternoon action to make this a fun day for us. By the way, Johnny Gunn saying Georgia Tech scoring more, allowing less on average over the last 5 games. And Ron Lofton says, need Georgia Tech money line to complete a plus 218 ticket. Ricky Bobby looking at the Florida State team total under. Troy Torrance says, I agree Florida State's more talented, but they're poorly coached. A lot of turnovers, spotty effort. Mike M, no, Parks is not harness racing. We will never deliver. Only Dennis Garcia will deliver harness action for us. Abilene Christian Wildcats 13-16, 7-11 in the conference against Cal Baptist Lancers. 16-15, 8-10. We're at Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. And shout out to Nut Flush's daughter, Bailey, who is at Cal Baptist, right? That's her school. I'm almost certain that that's her school. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. We have Abilene Christian opening up as a pick'em. Right now, Abilene Christian is -2. Pinnacle didn't open at pick'em. Pinnacle had Abilene Christian as +1. So here we go. 3 games so far. All 3 games have had a dog become a favorite. That is wild. Totals wise, this opened up. Oh, it's not moving. You know what? I'd like to see what Pinnacle opened this. Or sorry, Bet Online opened this up at. Bet Online opened this up as a pick'em and moved it to -2. Totals wise, this opened up at 142. It's dropped a point to 141, but it got as low as 140. Cash wise here, we have 57% of the tickets and 66% of the cash on Abilene Christian. And then totals wise, we have 69% of tickets, 61% of cash on the over. So actually, bigger bets have come in on the under in this one. Abilene Christian finished the season poorly. Last seen losing their 5th straight game, 72-54 at Sam Houston State is on Friday at 6.5-point dogs. Cal Baptist comes in off its 3rd loss in 4 games, 81-71 at Southern Utah on Friday at 6.5-point dogs. Cal lost at home to Abilene Christian badly, 87-71 back on February 4th. It's 5-point favorites in the team's lone meeting. Take it away here for us, Pete. Any interest in Abilene, Cal Baptist?
No, but I will let you know that I did just make a bet. I don't want to make it official, but I did just pull the trigger on Loyola over St. Joe's just to win the game outright. Abilene Christian, you got to respect the line move here. Both subpar. Cal Baptist, a little bit better as far as their record is concerned. Both of these teams bad ATS recently, but big move to Abilene Christian. Based on that, I would respect it. I'm not going to bet it, but if free play, I would throw it on Abilene Christian.
Seems like that is the look here. What are your thoughts? Daby Cab, take it away.
Yeah, I definitely lean Abilene Christian too. You said it back on February 4th, their first meeting, Abilene Christian, or their only meeting, won 87-71. But Pete also touched on this. They've been terrible ATS lately. They're 0-5 ATS their last 5. They're 0-5 ATS their last 5 against a team with a winning record. I don't get into those on Wednesday or on Tuesday type shit not for me. I know some people are. But what I do get into is like, against a team with a winning record. Okay, so they're not playing good against good teams. That's important. Cal Baptist on the other side, just 2-7 ATS their last 9, and 0-7-1 their last 8 on a neutral site. So they're struggling traveling a little bit. Like I've been saying, they've both been struggling. But I flat out don't trust the Lancers here, especially in a spot like this. I mean, Abilene Christian's been here before. I'd look Abilene Christian or nothing.
Yeah, Abilene Christian or nothing for Daby Cab. Yeah, 3 straight games to open this up and 3 straight dogs to favorites. I mean, it just you open this up, the teams face each other, and don't forget, Cal Baptist was 5-point favorites, but they face each other, and it's a huge win for Abilene Christian. And then they open up the line with Abilene as a dog again. It's fishy. But clearly the movement is towards Abilene Christian. Jake Burns on Abilene Christian. I'm not going to be on the other side. It's just whether or not I pull the trigger on Abilene Christian. All right, let's move on. Next up for us, back to the A10 first round. Rhode Island Rams, 9-21, 5-13 in conference versus LaSalle Explorers, 13-18, 7-11 in conference. Brooklyn for this one at the Barclays. Let's take a look at the line history here for Rhode Island, LaSalle, and look at this. I mean, is this just nuts? This is our 4th straight dog to favorite.
Crazy, man. Fuck me.
I don't remember ever seeing this in my life, 4 straight dog to favorite. Rhode Island opening up at +1 at Pinnacle. They got up to -2. They're now at -1. Let's see what BetOnline did. BetOnline opened this up at +1. They're now at -1. This is just wild. Let's go to the total in this one. This total opened up at 140. It's dropped 2 points to 138. And when we head over to cash flow, I mean, it's pretty simple to expect Rhode Island to be getting the cash. They're not. It's wild. They're not. Oh, no, sorry. That's the total. God, sorry, because using a different site right now. 75% of the tickets, 93% of the cash is on the under, and it's dropped 2 points. So that all makes sense. Point spread here. Rhode Island is getting the big bets. 37% of tickets, but 57% of the cash on Rhode Island. Rhode Island comes in off their 8th loss in 9 games, 68-54 at home to Davidson on Saturday as 3-point dogs. LaSalle comes in off their 5th straight loss. They lost 76-73 at home to Loyola Chicago as 3.5-point favorites. LaSalle beat. Look at how close these games were. LaSalle. We have a couple of these on the board today, but LaSalle beat Rhode Island 77-75 in overtime back on Saturday, January 7th. Before losing a tight one, 72-70 at Rhode Island back on January 28th. So these teams have been playing close games. Pistol Pete, any move here?
No. Maybe I'll make a live or halftime bet. It's an interesting one. The market move towards Rhode Island is quite interesting and surprising and probably telling. And that's it for me. Pass. You got to be very careful in college basketball. And I might have a bet by tip, but as of right now, pass.
What about you, Daby Cab, Rhode Island, LaSalle?
Yeah. So this LaSalle team, they have the 9th ranked scoring offense in the A10, 13th in field goal percentage, 14th in scoring defense, and last in 3-point defense. Whereas the Rams, they're much better on defense. You said it, their first matchup, 77-75 in OT. The Rams got 38 points in the paint in that game. They out-rebounded LaSalle 49-43. The second game, once again, they won the rebounding margin. They out-rebounded them 41-35 with 32 points in the paint. This comes down to the paint and defense for me. LaSalle has one of the worst defenses in conference, and even though I know Rhode Island struggles to score, I think that they're able to keep this game close. And another thing too, Rhode Island's won 9 out of the last 10 meetings between these two teams. Usually I don't look at past teams, but they've seemed to got their number here. I think Rhode Island plus the points is worth a look here. Or has that completely flipped?
It has flipped right now.
When I capped it, they were plus points. They are no longer plus points.
Yeah. I moved towards Rhode Island. Interested in Rhode Island here as well. But yeah, it's a perfect spot for you, Razor. 63% of the tickets on LaSalle, 43% of the cash on LaSalle. There's T-Mac in the house. Yeah, I think I moved towards Rhode Island as well here. And I expect to move on them. All right, let's move on. Next up for us, we get back to the get to the ACC here. We talked about the first game, Georgia Tech, Florida State. This is game number 2, and the spreadsheet play today in college basketball is Boston College -6 from our Ron Crawford. Louisville Cardinals 4-27, 2-18 in conference versus the Eagles 15-16, 9-11 in conference. Again, we're in Greensboro, North Carolina for this one. We'll start with the line history here. Louisville, Boston College. This opened up with Boston College -6 at -108. At Pinnacle, they're -6, -107. So no movement there. We'll go over to Bet Online. Bet Online has moved it slightly. They've moved it a half point in the direction of Louisville. That was of 12-4. That was about 40 or 55 minutes ago. They moved it towards Louisville. And total-wise here, opened up at 136, dropped a half point to 135.5. Then we get over the cash flow for this one. We have – let me go back here. The cash, I should say. 24% of the tickets and 53% of the cash is on Louisville. So, sharp money it looks like on Louisville here. But that sharp money has to go up against the spreadsheet play today. The total has 66% of the tickets and 90% of the cash on the under. 60 and 90. And it's dropped just a half point. Pistol Pete, what are your thoughts here? Louisville, Boston College.
Yeah, Louisville is just a fucked up team. Like there's something they're abnormal. It's not fucking normal. You know what I mean? I know you're not like everyone's normal. Everyone's okay. No, Louisville is not okay. They're abnormal, and we're not going to exclude them from society, but we're not going to deny that they're fucked up and abnormal. I've made some money betting Louisville this year. Lost some money betting Louisville this year. I did earlier take Louisville first half, not full game. First half plus 3.5. They're a fucked up team. I'm just so pissed off. I won't get into why I'm pissed off, but I was texting Mike Nutflush Allen some shit, and Louisville pissed me off one time when I texted him something about them. But Louisville, if Louisville's down by 30 at the half, that would not shock me. I think a more likely result is that it's relatively close at the half, and then one way or another, BC gets the win and probably covers and gets Mike, the Pimp Slap play of the day cash. I did bet Louisville first half plus 3.5. I don't know if I want to make that official, but they're a wacky, messed up team, and I would also be leaning under, but the total's gotten bet down, so I'm not going to take that. But I do have a bet with Louisville first half plus 3.5.
I kind of like that look. I was disappointed seeing Ron on the other side. Now Rez as well. I kind of like that look. Daby Cab, take it away here. Louisville, Boston College.
Yeah, for sure. A little on this Louisville team that we talked about. I know you said they're 4-27, 2-18 in conference, but let's see what they've done to get there. They're 339th in scoring offense, only putting up 64 points per game. 303rd in rebounding, only getting 32.3 boards per game. 363rd or last in college basketball with only 9.3 assists per game. And like I've talked about, I really like it when people move the ball around, which they're not doing. BC on the other side, this is why so many people are on the under. You said it moved up half a point?
Sorry.
No, got it down, right?
Sorry, say that again. Sorry.
Did you say the total went up half a point or down?
Oh, down. It's gone. It's dropped.
But it only went down half a point with 90% of the cash on it?
Yes, this it just came back up at Pinnacle. So the market not moving despite this slight move to the under. Let's just see BetOnline again. BetOnline's dropped to 2 points since the opener. So Pinnacle hasn't, but BetOnline has. BetOnline opened this 140 yesterday at 2 o'clock, moved it to 139 at 4 o'clock, and then moved it down to 138 at 9 this morning, a 2-point move.
Okay. Yeah, because both these teams on defense just absolutely atrocious. Boston College 316th in scoring. Excuse me, I just said that backwards. Both these teams are atrocious, though. Boston College 316th in scoring offense, 66.3. I said atrocious on defense. They're both atrocious on offense. Forgive me. I was thinking points, but yeah. Anyways, 234th in rebounding, pulling down 33.1 boards. They do move the ball around a little better, above average in that, 12.5 assists per game. Louisville has been a train wreck, like Pete said. But this is a Boston College team that's been battling injuries here. I mean, I think somebody said in the chat they might be missing their big guy here. That's huge. You need to know that for Boston College if you're going to back them in this game. I don't have a look in this, but I understand why Pete's looking Louisville. It's a new season. This is your chance to fucking forget about the worst thing that's ever happened to your program. That being said, I'm not backing a team that's 4-21 on the season.
Yeah, Jim, you can make that official. I'll take the Pinnacle line plus 112. Louisville first half plus 3.5 minus 112.
And my bad. I was given the Rhode Island LaSalle numbers. It's dropped a point at Pinnacle from 136 to 135. My bad. I really apologize. I hate when that happens. And then at BetOnline, it's only moved a half point. So that was my bad. I apologize. Pete has moved on Louisville first half plus 310. I'm going to join you, Pete. I'm going to join you just first half. I don't want to go up against spreadsheet play today. Shout out to our North Ender, not only becoming a member of We Be Puffin, but also giving out a gifted membership that went to Jags 8787, another capper I love. So thank you, North Ender. It means a ton to us. You're the man. Anything official for you here, Daby Cab?
No. And like I said, guys, I'll be firing away a ton in these tournament games, like all day, every day going forward for the rest of the season, probably. So I got a little action today, but I didn't dive into it like I'm going to some of the other days.
All right, let's move on to the Northeast Conference Tournament. I gave this out to you guys exactly the situation, and we saw it play. I told you that I expected this to happen at the beginning of the Northeast Conference Tournament. I told you that Merrimack was not going to be able to play even if they win in the tournament. They weren't going to get the spot even if they win the tournament, and that the very high likelihood of Fairleigh Dickinson winning this, getting the spot in the tournament by winning the semis and finding out in their locker room that all happened. They won 70-50 over St. Francis, Pennsylvania as 4-point favorites. And due to these archaic transfer rules, that's the situation here. So I'm very excited to talk about this game. I thought that we'd be in this situation where Merrimack's whole season is here if they want to win the NEC. This is their last game of the year. They want to win it. They defeated Sacred Heart 71-60 Saturday night, and that allowed Fairleigh Dickinson to make the tournament. Merrimack lost at Fairleigh Dickinson 71-63 earlier in the year before losing to them again 78-71 as 2.5-point favorites on January 28th. So for me, I was like, how in the world is the market not moving towards Merrimack? Like, it just made no sense to me that it wouldn't be happening. I couldn't believe it. Let's take a look at what's happened since then. Merrimack opening up at minus 3.5 at Penny. They're now at minus 4. So a half-point move there. Let's go to BetOnline. BetOnline opened this up at minus 4. That's exactly where it is. It did drop to 3.5 for a little while. It's at 4. I mean, it's just a very, very surprising to me that would be the case. Let's take a look at the cash flow here. For this one, we have 92% of tickets, 98% of cash on the under. So that's a ton of money on the under. And we've seen this total go from 138 to 137.5. It got up to 139. So that's very, very strange. Then on the side here, we have, so I'm going to pull this up here, 80% of tickets and 77% of cash on Merrimack. So we're all thinking the exact same thing, that Fairleigh Dickinson really doesn't have much to play for. They also don't have pressure on them Merrimack has their whole season here, their final game to win the conference. All the money's on Merrimack, and the market's not moving towards them. Just extremely confusing. Also, they've lost twice to Fairleigh Dickinson this year. This is exactly what we talked about happening. Now it's happening, and for some reason, the market's not moving towards Merrimack. This is tricky, confusing, because I want to be all over Merrimack here. Take it away, Pete. What are your thoughts here? NEC final.
Yeah, I mean, the answer might just be that even in 2013, it's just like not that many people really freaking care about the minutiae of the drama.
Is it
involved
2013?
with Merrimack? I mean, I would agree with you. I think that Merrimack, at least money line, is worth a shot. Bet sized appropriately, of course, so that it loses. It's not a disaster. It's just I was wrong, but I agree with you. I see no reason not to take Merrimack here.
But are you concerned by the market?
Not really.
Okay. Daby Cab, take it away. It is 2023, so don't worry. We didn't somehow go back 10 years. Take it away, Dab. What are your thoughts here? NEC final.
Did I say 2013?
You did.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay.
I love it.
It's only a decade off.
Yeah. What do you think, Dab?
These two teams, man, Dickerson went 15-11 first 26 of the season, but then they finished out the regular season on a little skid, 2-3. They lost to Central CT State, Sacred Heart, and St. Francis, where Merrimack on the other side started 10-16 first 26 games, but they finished with wins over St. Francis, Hartford, Sacred Heart, Central CT State, LIU, and then they went on to beat LIU again, first tournament game. I mean, honestly, you could probably convince me of either side in this one, especially since Dickinson was able to take care of the first two games, 71-63 and 78-71. But for all the reasons that you touched on, I lean Merrimack here. They've hit 70 or more in 4 straight games. They're cruising. This is their season. This is it. So, yeah, I like Merrimack here, but I haven't bet this one either.
They started out the year 0-13. We talked about the work that's being done by the coaching staff, winning 11 straight games. I just want a sign from the books that they're concerned. Why does it not concern you, Pete?
I don't know, because it's Merrimack. Because I don't know if Right Angle Sports put out a play on Merrimack. I'm sure it would jump a point. It's just I don't know how closely people are paying attention. The limits are relatively modest, and it just maybe slipped under the radar a little bit.
Do you think that playing without any pressure could help Fairleigh Dickinson?
Of course, yeah. Sure. I mean, we're of course talking about college kids here, of course.
I just wanted a sign. I'm not getting that sign. I don't know. Okay, let's move on to the Horizon League Championship. Well, of course, Northern Kentucky North turns their season around late and is here in the championship game. Northern Kentucky North 21-12, 14-6 in the Horizon. Cleveland State Vikings. Also, do I have that? I thought Northern Kentucky North had a worse record than that. I feel like do they really have the same record? Let me just get that up here. I feel like I was moving too quickly when I was capping college basketball this morning. It just let's take a look at this once more here very quickly. Here we're and no, they do have the exact same record. Why did I think it was different? Okay, both teams 21-12, 14-6 in conference. We're at Indiana Farmers Coliseum in Indianapolis, Indiana. Take a look at the line history here for this one. The Norse finishing the year off strong. They did look vulnerable earlier in the season. That has changed. Line history-wise here, we have the Norse opening up -1.5. They're now -2.5. Totals-wise, they opened up at 127. It's dropped a point to 126. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this one. Spread-wise, 35% of the tickets and 52% of the cash on Cleveland State, but the market moving the other direction. And total-wise, 44% of the tickets and 94% of the cash is on the under. 44 and 94, and it's dropped 1 point from 127 to 126. Norse coming off winning their 4 straight games, 75-63 over Youngstown State yesterday in the semis, 3.5-point dogs. They only turned the ball over 3 times in the victory. And that's a team that's locked in right now. Cleveland State won their 2nd straight game yesterday, 93-80 at home over Milwaukee, is 2.5-point favorites in the semis. The Vikings lost, the Norse lost to Cleveland State 57-56 earlier in the year. before defeating them at home 64-63 is 2.5-point favorites on February 19th. Both games, a 1-point difference. Billy Friedrich says take Cleveland State and the points. They split the season series, both winning by 1 point. That's what, we were just discussing. Pete, what do you think here? Horizon League final.
Yeah, I mean, I wish if teasing college basketball was at all a decent thing to do, I would probably tease Cleveland State here. No opinion as of right now. Very likely to be a low-scoring, close game, obviously. So maybe some a live bet or a halftime bet is something I might pull the trigger on. As of right now, I got nothing on it. If you gave me a free play, I'd probably throw it on Cleveland State. Just for the reason that if it is a 1-point game, either way, you cash with 2.5. But other than that, nothing on this one.
Rick J says Norris has been tough to fade. Daby Cab, take it away. Horizon League final.
Yeah, Northern Kentucky is putting up 68.2 points per game. That's 274th in the country. They're doing it on 43.2% shooting. But defense is where this team has been outstanding. They're 29th in the country, allowing 63.7 points per game. And then we flip and look at this Cleveland State team. They're putting up 71.3 points per game, 188th in the country. They do it with 13.3 assists, which I like to see, a little bit of ball movement. And they shoot at a 45.6% clip, which is pretty good. Defensively, they're giving up 67.8 points per game, which is 116th. So they're still above average here. Both of these teams are strong defensively. I agree with what you guys are saying. I think Cleveland State's worth a look here. If I was going to bet Cleveland State, which I might, I very likely might, I would take them in the first half plus the point, or plus the point, or plus the 1.5, whatever you can get.
Troy Torrance says Cleveland State is very efficient first half metrics, both offensively and defensively. And Troy Torrance says, I have a feeling a live bet on Northern Kentucky is in order. Coactus in the house. Great to see you, Coactus. Says the Norse going to take it. Rick J saying Norse being tough to fade. Rocco Rogers said, I think the Norse will control the pace here. Pete, if you were going to take an under in the Horizon League Championship, would it be first half or full game?
On this one, I mean, just because OT is entirely in the cards here, I'd probably throw it on first half, which is 57.5.
Very low scoring, but Troy Torrance says he'll be on Cleveland State first half. Live bet North second half. Ron Crawford says Cleveland State better road against the spread record. Yes, Rick J, I tried to answer it. They're the three players in their front court for St. Joe's looking like they're going to be unavailable here. Game's popping off shortly, and I've got 3 minutes away from. I guess I'm not going to move.
I mean, I definitely do like the first half under 57.5 a little bit, but it's one of those bets that like you're going to win or it's going to be a guaranteed heart attack. So I don't really want to give it as an official play, but I do like it.
I'm going to have to make this first half bet right now on Georgia Tech, Florida State, first half under right now. I will do that here. But let's just quickly talk about this spot here. I got 2 minutes now. The next spot on the board here for all of us is the CAA championship final here. Colonial action. UNC Wilmington Seahawks 24-9, 12-6 in the conference. At Charleston Cougars 30-3, 60-2 in conference. Entertainment and Sports Arena, Washington D.C. This Charleston team has looked so good all year, and everything on the line for them. Hoping for a spot in the tourney. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Charleston opening up at -9. They're now -10. That's a huge spread. Totals wise, opening up at 140. It's now 140.5. And then cash wise here, we have on the total 79% of tickets, 65% cash on the over. A sharper bet's on the under, and it's moved down a little bit. I have some interest in this under. And then on the spread here, 50% of the tickets and 33% of the cash on Charleston, but it has moved a little bit in their direction. Pete, any move for you here in this one? Charleston winning games and winning them comfortably. UNC Wilmington winning their last two games and to get to this spot. So they beat Drexel by 5. They beat Hofford in overtime. What are your thoughts here on this? So Hofstra, with the Hofstra,
I'm not going to bet this one. Maybe a halftime bet. If you gave me a free play, I guess I'd put it on Wilmington. It's just maybe a point or two too many. But Charleston is like, I would also think about like adding on Charleston money line and parlays and stuff because they're legit awesome. And no play for me. Free play, I don't know. I guess I'd throw it on Wilmington plus the points.
I feel like the first half spot on UNC Wilmington with no pressure on them whatsoever, and all of the pressure on Charleston is an interesting look that I might want to move on. I mean, sure, Charleston can just dominate them in this spot, but what do you think, Daby Cab? Take it away.
I think you guys nailed it. I mean, I do not think Charleston loses this game, but it might be a few too many points. This Charleston team, though, putting up 81.5 points per game. They're doing it at a 44.2% shooting clip. And they're very good at rebounding. This team gets 37.8 boards per game. That's second in the country. So they're definitely attacking the glass. When you look at UNC, they're putting up 68.9 points per game, giving up 64.1 on the flip side. Against Townsend last night, Charleston had 4 players with over 12 points. That's huge for me with this Charleston team. They have so many people who can score. Smith, he's been great all season. He led the way with 20 points. But I love the fact that they got multiple people. I think they got 6 people that can average double digits on this team any game. Charleston won the first game by 2. I think they win this one too, but I just don't know how much they win it by. I think the number might be too big. But because of the fact that Charleston has multiple players that have the ability to take this game over, I'm going to stay away from it. If I was going to get a free bet, I'd probably take UNC in the first half.
I'm just getting my action in here on the first half under. I just bet it. I'm just going to put it out. So can somebody else open up the second to last game here on our board, the West Coast Conference Tournament Final, Gonzaga St. Mary's?
Sure.
Yeah.
You want me to open it up?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. All right. So Daby Cab, here we go. St. Mary's and Gonzaga. I mean, I guess, again, if you could tease college basketball, maybe tease St. Mary's with Cleveland State or something like that. I don't know, but I really don't want to fade Gonzaga right now. They don't seem like a top team that's lethargic. In fact, it's the opposite. They seem like a team that's like, a top team, but still playing with a chip on their shoulder a little bit and playing a little hungry. So I have not bet this game yet at all, and maybe I'll do it again live or halftime or something. But if you gave me a free play right now, even though St. Mary's is getting a couple points here, I would probably put it on Gonzaga -2.5 or 3 or something like that. Gonzaga just feels motivated and focused, and I think I'd rather, if I had to fade one of these teams, I think I'd rather fade St. Mary's than Gonzaga right now. But definitely a pass for me as of right now. Daby Cab.
There, it unmuted. Yeah, you get. I like what you said on this one. Gonzaga 26-5 on the season. St. Mary's 25-6. These two teams split in their 2 meetings. Last game, the Gales shot 51.1% from the field and 46.7% from 3 in their win over BYU. This is a great team. I don't see them shooting that at that high of a clip again. On the season, they're averaging 71.9 points per game, which is 176, shooting at a 46.1% clip. That's 89th. So even though they're just barely above average in points per game, they have a slower pace. They shoot the ball well, 37.2% from deep. On defense, this is where this team excels. They're only allowing 59.3 points per game. That's 6th in the country, allowing opponents to only shoot 40.7% from the field, which is 30th in the country, and only 32% from beyond the arc, which is 72nd in the country. And you look at what the Zags did last game against the Dons. They shot 48.2%, 43.3% from 3. That's about where they're at. They lost the first game between these two teams, like I said, 78-70 in overtime, and then they turned around and won the next game, 77-68. Timmy had 19 in that game. When you look at Gonzaga, starting off the season, 12-17-1 ATS, so overvalued, obviously, which is what we'd expect. But they're 6-4 their last 10. And this is a team that we all know first in the country on offense, putting up 88 points per game, shooting at a 52.9% clip, 38.2% beyond the arc. They're allowing 73.6 per game, which is obviously not good, 287th, but that's not a problem. You look at their last 5 games, Pepperdine's the closest team that got close. They lost by 9. They beat Pepperdine by 9, and that's the closest anyone's even got in the last 5. Like Pete said, this team is kind of out, like it seems like out to kind of prove a point. I think they probably heard a lot of this isn't the same Gonzaga team. They've heard a lot of that in their locker room, and they've kind of turned it on. I don't think St. Mary's can replicate that shooting that they had against BYU, and I still think Gonzaga is the big bad out of these two teams. I know St. Mary's is a very good team. They're trying to prove something, and I'll go ahead and say what I just said. I don't think this is the same Gonzaga team we've seen in the last couple of years, but I still think they're the better team, and I took Gonzaga in the first half -1.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Dab locked in. Did you get that at regular juice?
Yeah, minus 110.
Gonzaga first half -1, -110.
Yep.
All right, locked in. There has been a move towards St. Mary's opening up at +3.5 now, +2.5 at Pinnacle. Go over to Bet Online. Bet Online opened this up at +2. It's now +2.5. So a little different there at Bet Online. And then for the total, this opened up at 140 and it's dropped a 1.5 to 138.5. Cash wise here, 32% of the tickets are on St. Mary's and 41% of the cash. Then for a total side of things, 15% of the tickets are on the under and 68% of the cash. That's wild. I mean, that's screaming a sharp under in this game. It's really difficult for me to make a decision on the side. I think a part of me, I want Gonzaga's run to be over, even though I spent my whole youth loving this basketball team. But I want this run to be over. Pete, is there anything that you want to make official here?
Not yet.
Oh. Do you think that is a sharp looking under?
It's just you could easily get OT. You could, and St. Mary's can be great from 3, and Gonzaga, they score a lot from the inside, which is like pretty consistent. It's. I'm off. I'm not touching the total. Not that someone else might not have a great read on it, but I'm off it.
Yeah, I have.
The thing is, like, once in a while, the markets are actually dead on with these college basketball lines.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an edge to be had every single freaking game, and so I don't know. I'm just going to pass on this one.
All right, I have some interest in the under, but maybe this is a spot where I need to focus on the first half under. All right, let's close up. And Cabby's moving on Gonzaga, first half -1. Our final game on the board, we'll see if either Pete or Cab have additions other than this. But we have the Summit League Championship final, North Dakota State Bison, 16-16, 11-7 in conference versus the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles, a team that a lot of people want to see in the tourney. 29-4, 18-0, undefeated in the Summit. We're in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for this one. Let's take a look at the line history here. We have, move over here, sorry, the North Dakota State Oral Roberts, the finale here in the conference tournament. Oral Roberts opening up -10.5 at Pinnacle. That's where they are right now. There's been no movement. See what BetOnline has done. BetOnline opened this up here quickly. BetOnline opened this up at -10.5. It's moved to -10, so a half-point move on the other side, although that 10 is juiced. Totals-wise, open up at 155. It's down to 153.5. And then when we get to the cash flow for this one, move over here for the cash flow. We have, here we go, 60% of the ticket, 65% of the cash on the under. And then on the side, we have, sorry, it's taking me 1 second. On the side, we have 57% of the tickets and 78% of cash on North Dakota. This is another spot where I just feel like all the pressure's on Oral Roberts, and I lean towards moving. And I think I will move on North Dakota State first half. The team playing without any sort of pressure that Oral Roberts is facing after they've gone undefeated in the Summit League. Pete, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, ORU has won 8 games in a row, and in those 8 games, 1-7 against the spread. So Oral Roberts is winning games straight up, game in and game out, but losing games, ATS, game in and game out. I think they're a great team, though. I don't want to bet against them. I kind of like the under in this one, first half and full game. I bet both of them. Of course, Oral Roberts can put up 100. No question about it. So that's a little bit scary, but I kind of like, they're also amenable to lower scoring games, slower paced games. So I like the under. Nothing crazy. Could easily go over, but I like that. And you can make the full game under an official play for me. 153.5 -108 current line at Heritage.
153.5 -108. I like that. I think I'm gonna focus on first half here, expecting Oral Roberts to feel a little bit of pressure. But I like what you've done there. Take it away, Cab. Last spot on the show.
Yeah, it's funny because I like it when my cap comes out to kind of what you guys said. Obviously, this Earl Roberts team is outstanding. The Golden Eagles are putting up 84.4 points per game, allowing 70.7. They pull down 36.7 boards, and they have 14.8 assists per game. And I keep touching on that. These assists are a big deal in college basketball, how you move the ball. 14.8 assists per game is great. On the other side, only putting up 72.8 points per game, allowing 72.4, which is rough. 36 boards per game and only 11.1 assists. But here's the thing, and Pete touched on it. Earl Roberts, they're undefeated, 18-0 in the Summit, which is outstanding. They won both of these matchups here with scores of 92-69, and then the next game 74-66. But I think this is going to be a tough one. And if you caught that last score, 74-66, that means Earl Roberts wouldn't have covered in that game, which probably was one of those 7 that they didn't cover that Pete was just talking about. I just feel like it could be too many points here. As good as I think Earl Roberts is, this is too many points in this game.
Are you moving on the other side?
No, I'm going to keep this strict, Jimmy, because I plan on having a really good tournament run. And in order to do that, I need to stay on what I do.
Well, I'm going to be on North Dakota State first half and the first half under. Pete's on the full game under. Let's talk about additions here. Pete, are there any additions that you want to make official here that on games we didn't speak on?
No, nothing really.
All right, Daby Cab, anything you want to make official?
No, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying this. I might have 9 bets on Thursday. I'm gonna probably have 4 or 5 tomorrow. I might have 9 on Thursday, 9 on Saturday, 9 on Friday. So I'm cool in here. I'm coming into this cool. I mean, as much as I want to fire away at these early games and have action, you said it. Four dogs turned to favorites in the first 4 games we capped. I don't got to rush out. I'm not trying to rush out. We got plenty of games coming up.
I'm excited. What? So anything? Sorry, did anything that you're adding other than Gonzaga first half keeping it clean?
This is gonna be my lowest volume. No,
it's all good. It's all about winning. So let's review all action in college basketball here. I came very close on moving on that over in Loyola St. Joe's. It's on its way. I did move on the first half under in Georgia Tech, Florida State. I love where that's at right now. Like to start off with a nice W there. 13 points scored. And I got the under 68 on pace for a very low scoring half, but that can change. And then 3 o'clock action. We stayed off Abilene, Cal Baptist. Rhode Island, I'm going to move on. Pete's moving on Louisville first half plus 3.5. I'm joining him. Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play today is Boston College full game. Merrimack, I need to sit with for a little longer. I'll be on the under first half of Northern Kentucky North versus Cleveland State. I'm going to be on Wilmington Seahawks first half. Cabs on Gonzaga first half -1. I'm going to be on the under, and I think I'm going to focus on the first half. Pete's on the under 153.5 in North Dakota State, Oral Roberts. I'm going to be on the first half under and North Dakota State first half. Those are going to be my spots on the board. I like it. I feel like this is a nice day coming up for us here. We went 2-0 on Friday's show, so I'd like to continue that rolling. And I didn't make any moves. I was still focused on horses and then live betting on the Sunday show. Daby Cab, my man, we have a big trip ahead of us. Anything you want to promote? Because now we have NCAA Pub Hub on Saturdays and Sundays. You do Friday's show, and you're also going to be doing our show here with us tomorrow. And I'd like to talk to you about probably doing a selection show on Sunday for our live bet day. But anything else you would like to promote? And yeah, take it away.
Yeah, so that selection show, that'll be awesome. And then also, I know we had texted a little bit about it, but when we're in San Antonio, man, I'll go live for games all day, every day. If not, maybe not all day, but I'll go live for the tournament games, plenty of them. So make sure and stay tuned in for that. And then also, anybody who's going to be in San Antonio on Sunday, I need to know. We do not have very many spots left for this infusion dinner that we're doing with the Leads, but there are a couple. So reach out to me, DM me if you want in. It's going to be a surf and turf dinner, okay? It's going to be small plate. You're going to get served. It's an 8-course meal, so you're going to get 8 different things that are infused. And it's, like I said, going to be with Delusional Eats, who make some of the best fucking edibles around. This thing's going to be badass. We're going to record it. You're going to be sitting at the round table with Jimmy. Hopefully Pete can make it. Me, my guy Dutch is going to be there. So it's going to be a round table with fucking OGs sitting at it, eating some fucking hella good infused food. There's going to be dab pairings for anyone who knows what that is. I mean, this is just going to be over the top, like eccentric. It's going to be badass. So if you can join, send me a message so we can get you in.
I love it. Dab, we love you, man. Good luck today on your Gonzaga look, and we will rock and roll again tomorrow, my friend. So get that cash. Roll that shit, light that shit, smoke it. Follow Cab on Twitter at Daby Cab. And let's bring on our producer of the show. This is our last show with him. He is heading off to Miami. So please welcome star of Say Hey Plays of the day, young Jose Sweet Tea Tits Bouquet.
Hello, gentlemen. Hello. It's nice to see you, Pete. It's nice to see you. Jimmy, I wish you saw the things that Pete texted me. He just texts me sometimes. And it's just shocking what I get. And I wish you could be privy to those conversations.
I text some people shit, but we're trying not to get canceled here. I know they can read the text. Yeah. But.
Come on. I didn't say the content of those messages. I just know there's FTDs, and that's what we got to do.
We love FTD. Yeah. We love her.
Jose, you have a huge week ahead of us. Tell us a little bit about it.
So flying out today / tonight, going to Miami. We'll be at the Venezuela versus the Astros scrimmage tomorrow. That'll be a whole lot of fun. Actually, speaking of a whole lot of fun, a reoccurring segment that I don't have the graphics for anymore. Did Pablo Lopez respond? Today's his birthday. I said happy birthday, and he said thank you. So shout out to my good friend Pablo Lopez, who I hopefully will be seeing here in the next couple of days. But it'll be a whole lot of fun. I'll be going live throughout my times in Miami, and I'll be recording stuff that hopefully we can make into some vlog video type thing. I will say the Baseball World Classic does officially begin today, technically. Cuba versus the Netherlands tonight. I believe it's 10 Eastern, 11 Eastern, maybe. It's the later game, obviously, because it's in Tokyo, I believe, or Taiwan. I forget. I looked at that game. I didn't really have a good feel on it. I believe it was like minus 140. I can just stop saying I believe. I can just look it up now. But the total was at 8. And shout out to Earl Sports Bets. Nice guy. I was actually on their program recently covering the Red Sox for a little preview there. But he gave out the over. I also was kind of feeling the over as minus 190 for Cuba, by the way, plus 165 for the Netherlands. It's 8 right now. It's minus 120. It probably wouldn't lay it right now. I would lean that way. And if I had to pick a side, it is dog or pass for me. People on the Netherlands that you would know, Xander Bogaerts, ever heard of him? That's a good one. Obviously, the Profar brothers are on the Netherlands squad as well. But Cuba actually has major league players as well. So, it keeps it interesting, keeps it light. It's the first time in WBC history that Cuba actually has baseball players from the MLB playing, like Luis Robert and all them. But I can't wait for all the games. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And I'll be in Miami for basically like 2 weeks covering them all. So if you're in Miami, definitely let me know.
That's so exciting. That's so exciting. Can't wait to see all the content that you drop. Big news. So this is the last day we have our Sweet Tea Tits Bouquet. Let's do a quick review of all action, and then Jose will take us into the future with some lechery. I have Loshak cashed the first half under 67 in UMass Richmond. He made that official. In hockey, I'm on the Panthers -1 and the Vegas, Florida under 6.5 at plus 110, plus 115, plus 110, both of those. Carolina, Montreal, I'm off, but I did have some interest in the under 6. Pete's on the Devils -1 at plus 125. I only got plus 119 on the Devils -1. I have some interest on the under 6.5 in that one. Pete's on the Jackets -1 at plus 517. Biggest line of the year. Philly, Tampa, we are off. Then I'm going to add the under 6.5 in Buffalo, New York Islanders. Pete's on the under 6.5 -109. I'm on the Islanders -1. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today's Minnesota Wild. We stayed off Flames Wild. Pete's on the Coyotes -1 at plus 213. Another huge line. I'm going to add the Avs first period -0.5. Pete's on the Avs -1.5 -138. Pete's on the Ducks first period plus 191. I got plus 175 on that. That Ducks team total over 3 at plus 214 is too appealing to me. I'm going to move on it. I wasn't planning on it. Pete's on the Ducks -1 at plus 505. Another huge spot there. In NBA, I'm going to move on the over 227 in Milwaukee, Orlando. Wham gave us Lopez over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Then Pete's on the Pistons first half team total under 52.5. The Bobby Boucher play today. Wizards first quarter -2.5. Wham's on Hayward over 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I'm interested in the next team total under and the full game under. Then Sixers Wolves, we stayed off. Wham's on the Rockets first half +3.5, full game +7. I'm also interested in the Rockets, whether that be early or the team total over 112. I've got to figure that out. Warriors team total under 123.5. I have interest in. Then Pete's on the Mavs, first half team total over 60.5. Wham's on Marketing over 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And LJ from H-Town, the trilogy play of the day is the Mavs first half -4.5. Mike M's pimp slap play today is the LA Lakers. Wham's on the Lakers -1.5. And BJ's also on the Lakers money line. Pete's on Memphis Grizz, team total under 113, a -118. Stimmy also big bet there. That is our action. I'm going to drop Razors pick 5 for Parks. Starts on race 7, mandatory payout. Going to pop that again in the chat. But that is our show for today. Thank you guys so much for supporting it. All of you guys, Nut Flush Allen, Daby Cab, and that is Razor Sharp Picks is pick 5. T-Mac, Equinimus, Saturated, Bo Jackson, Christopher Comentini, Kongs, Clipstrom, Pulliam, Rem Most, Jay Peasy. All of you guys, thank you so much for your support. Eddie Hearn, Gifted Cartel, Billy Friedrich. Thank you guys. Rick J, Troy Torrance, Real Deal Prime, North Ender. Let's go out there and get that cash. I love the way this first half under is shaping up for me. 19 points scored in the first 8 minutes and 15 seconds. And the scoring did slow down in St. Joseph, so I'm comfortable not being on that over. This is all working out very nicely here. Don't forget our NCAA tournament selection Sunday. We're going to talk all about it. It's on our website, $50. We'll have that all up today. And thank you. Thank you, Pete. Love running with you. Jose, can you please let us out of here, my friend?
Sure, of course. Again, my last little note here. I've said it for weeks. Pete, I want to get you on the bandwagon. Jump on the Japan bandwagon with me, Pete. Unfortunately, the odds are now shit, but I've talked about Japan to win the Baseball World Classic for, 2 months now. The odds were a +340 at one point. I just checked on our friends at Bovada because BetOnline does not have them currently. They're all the way down to +225 now. So that got me rock hard. I actually bet it with my local, and I don't put like $100 on futures ever, really. They're just like, $25 like shots to see how he goes. I put $100 on this future. Like I will be sweating my dick off throughout the tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then my other future that I have on this Baseball World Classic, biased or not, God damn it, I'm on Venezuela. They were on the +1,500 to win the Baseball World Classic. They're +1,000 now. They're +3. Let me double check real quick. They're +350 to win their group against the Dominican Republic. I will be at that first game. I'm going to be crying in the stands. It's going to be a very, very important game. But Venezuela and Venezuela and Japan to win the Baseball World Classic. I've been hanging my hat on both of those, and it will be a whole lot of fun watching them. So, again, thanks everyone for watching. Pete, I hope you cash with some FTD a little bit more. That'd be nice. Jimmy, I wish you good fortune in the weeks to come, especially producing the show by yourself.
Thank you, my friend.
I have all the faith in the world in you. And if you need something, I will still be available. Might not be as snappy as I usually am. Thanks everyone for watching. Let's go. Let those fucking bookmakers, goddamn it.